Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to Twisted Tragedies, where we follow all the twists and turns wherever they lead. I'm your fearless leader, Elise. Happy Friday, everybody. So, tonight's stream, I want to refocus, right? Let's focus, people. Let's focus. Let's get a little woosah going here, right? Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, I want to refocus here, okay? I want to refocus. I want to woosah. Everybody get your fucking meditation pillow out and fucking hum some shit, all right? This is not, the negativity is not what this is about. This is like a whole, like, I'm not going to play into negativity. I'm not going to do it. That's not what I came here for. That's not what I'm here to do. I believe in Karen's innocence. I believe in having voices for people who don't have them anymore. I believe in finding these missing people because I have friends amongst them. Okay. I do true crime. And we fuck around and talk a little. Kind of like a therapy session at the end. But that's okay, because that's what I do here. That's what my channel runs like. Someone else's channel may run differently. That's how my channel runs. That's why mine's different, right? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to refocus. We're going to fucking woosah here. And tonight we're going to refocus for what we all came here for, which is Karen, right? Like, Karen didn't hit John with a car, right? Like, that didn't happen. So we're going to refocus this. And tonight I am going to do a 50-50 donation. All my 50% of my donations tonight. I'm a very small channel, so it probably won't be a ton, but we'll go to Karen's defense fund because she needs help too, right? Just like we did this for Janelle, we're going to do this again for Karen, right? So here we are, right? Like, we're going to just woosah it out and go forth, right? Like, this whole, like, she said, he said, this happened, that happened, this lie or this taken out of like, I'm not about it, dude. I'm not about it. I'm not about, tantrums and stupidness. Like, I'm not about it. I'm just not about it, dude. It's dumb, it's silly, and it's stupid. I'm not here for that. I never was here for that. So refocus, everyone. Refocus. That's great, Bob. That is fucking great to hear. And she's probably, to be honest, you guys realize that, like, she's probably spent all that. Like, it's there at 229,000, but like, that's probably gone, right? Like, you guys can see that because that's the amount that has been raised thus far, but like, you don't get to see when they take it out and use it. So like, all of that may be gone right now because she's had to use a lot on her defense, dude. Like, she's not just paying for all of her attorneys because there's multiple of them. She's also paying for all the experts, and she's got to fly them in, and she's got to fly one of her attorney or two of her attorneys in. Like, all of it plays into what she's got to pay for this. Every filing costs money, dude. Like, every paper, every billable hour they're working on something is money she's got to pay to them, right? Like, unfortunately, the bills keep rolling just like the rest of us. Like, nothing's going to stop, bills. She's still got to pay for that car they took apart. And I don't know. I didn't ever find out how much was from Halloween, but it should have been a good amount, right? Like, I donated to both tables. I wanted to obviously do my part. I donated to both tables of raffles. It was like one table for 20, two table for 40, whatever. I did both to help everyone. And I know, everybody got tickets. That was, money we spent to go there and help out. Like, that was the point, right? Like, I am a very small channel. I don't make a ton of money, guys. Like, I make next to nothing compared to the work that I do, which is fine. I'm tiny. I expect that, listen, no fighting. Everybody's fine in the chat. No fighting. No fighting. But yeah, okay, so it was around that. That's good. That's good. Another 8,500. That's good. That's good. But let's try to make it a little more. Let's try to make it a little tiny more than what is there now, right? Almost 9K. That's great, Sandy. That's awesome to hear. 8,520. I love that it's and 25 cents. And 25 cents. And 25 cents. And 25 cents. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna refocus here. We're going to refocus. I know. Can we just like have a Christmas party? That would be fun, right? A Christmas party? Christmas party, Christmas party. I mean, technically, we're having a birthday party for me. Bobby. Just saying. The DNA request. So that's another thing. The DNA request, in my opinion, it just says for investigating officers. Sir, are you stealing my Chinese food? Motherfucker. Tried to sneak in here like a sneaky squirrel and steal my freaking food. Like, but the DNA request, yeah, let's not fight. No, everybody's fine. Let's not fight. The DNA request, I know it would be, is for the investigating officers, right? Like, and it doesn't say which ones, obviously. And they've impounded it. So it's like we can't see it because they've impounded it. But what I want to know is why is it obviously it's impounded because they don't want us to see it. That's clear, obvious. That's obvious, right? Like, is just so the DNA doesn't become public record. I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, that's probably why it would make sense. But I mean, then, okay, that does make sense because they were only wanting to impound one part of it. There was like A and B. Okay, because that would make sense. All I want to know is like, was it on X, Y, or Z, or was it not on X, Y, or Z? You know what I mean? Like, I don't care whose DNA fingerprint says, 7.2 dot dash. I don't give a shit about that, Because if they put it out there, like their actual like DNA profile, then it would be like people would know, like, I guess. But they probably got it hired though by the union. The police union probably has like an attorney that they use, right? Like that's probably something that they do. Well, was it? We don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard that. Like, was it? Was it on the taillight? Like, we don't know. That's what I'm saying. Is it? Was it? We don't know. Like, I have no idea. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. No clue. Sorry, guys. Hold on. It's hard because when people are trying to tell me something and they can't, no, this is not the first time. Did you just pop in? No, this is not the first time I've donated to the Karen Reed Defense Fund. Not at all. But even if it was, why would it matter though? Not the first time, but if it was, why wouldn't it matter? Like the third time, but why? Again, why would that make a difference? They hired a private attorney? That's interesting. Well, it would be ridiculous for them not to use Gillsbury, but as we know, protocol went straight out that window. Straight out the window. Straight out the window. Like they didn't do anything that they were supposed to do when it came to that investigation. Like, at all. Like, if they should have went in that house, that's clear. We all know that. He should have came outside. I mean, there's a million different things. Like, well, yeah, if they planted it, there definitely would be. Yeah, you're right, Chrissy. Without the photos are something that really, really bother me with the taillight. Because those 5 undocumented searches have no photos of where they were found, how they were found. It's just in a bag that says the 34 Fairview Road and a date. And that's the only reason why the defense even knows they exist is because they got the pictures of the evidence bags that show the date and the time and the address. And so they had to ask about that. But what the hell? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know what cleanup is, Kristen, but if you don't want to watch, you're free to show yourself out. That's perfectly fine with me. Again, I'm not going to feed into the nonsense. People have no idea what they're talking about, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick to what I'm going to do here, and this is what I came here to do, is what I'm going to continue to do. So if you do not want to watch Twisted Tragedies, there's a way out, and you can see yourself there. I'm not going to play that game with anybody tonight, so if anybody is coming here to troll, just know, troll somewhere else. Like, yeah, no, I'm still covering the case there, Brian. Sorry to burst your bubble there, pal. Still covering the case. I think you mistake me for someone who's afraid, which I am not. So, yeah. I know, right? Well, 3 different DNA. Yeah, well, we knew there was 3 different DNAs on the taillight. We just don't know whose. Thank you, Jen. She's on top of it. On top of it. We don't know whose. We don't know whose they are. So, who knows? Because he loves trolling me. It's his favorite thing to do. He must. Sorry, Richo. I'm sorry, bro. You're not my type. I've been with my husband almost 10 years. It's not going to be a thing, but I'm sorry to let you down. Really, really sorry about that. Really sorry. It's not going to happen. Like, I don't ever remember them. Maybe someone else can clarify. I don't ever remember them saying what the third one was. I do not ever remember saying at all. Maybe somebody else remembers. But again, see, if you guys remember when they brought that up in court, right? He goes, I'll still be there. I'll bring you some mustard. I freaking love you. And Kyle will bring you a multivitamin. He promises that. Right, Kyle? Kyle? That would be your entrance, Kyle? Yep. Exactly. That'd be Kyle's cue. Kyle, that's your cue. Listen, I'm not. Okay. Does somebody want to. Again, redirect here, people. Redirect. If you came here to ask about stuff that I'm not going to play into, rewind or something. I don't know. Something. Was John. One was unknown. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't remember seeing the third one. I don't ever remember seeing what the third one was. Like, can't bring you a kidney. Sorry, can't do it. Can't bring you a kidney. Can't do it. It's not a thing. I'm sorry. All right, hold on. I just need to move the computer a little because it's like wobble, 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 wobble. Okay. It's like hot in here. I'm sorry. It's like really hot. My house doesn't have like the whole turn the heat up and down thing. Like it's either low, middle, or high because it's included. So it's like, it's not a fragile topic, but I'm not going to spend, shows and shows and shows on nonsense and tantrums. Dude. I'm just not going to do that. That doesn't really make much sense. And it's kind of like counterproductive. So the solo cups, they say they got from the neighbor. That's what they said. But that's what it says in the. Here's the thing with the reports. Like, how do we believe anything that's in them at this point? Like, that's the problem. There's too many things wrong with them. How do we know that they got the solo cups from the neighbor? How do we know that? We don't, right? It's just what they said. Where they said they got them. Like, where's the neighbor that gave the solo cups? Like, hey, neighbor, if you're out there who gave the solo cups, I'd like to talk to you. Even if it's just privately. Like, I just want to know a few things. I just have a few questions. Like, just a few. But That's what they said. They got it for, they got it from a neighbor. But I mean, that's cool. They can get it from a neighbor. That's totally awesome. But I suspect that. Like, I think maybe they probably didn't get it from a neighbor. Unless there's a neighbor that comes out and says it. I don't know. I don't know. Right? Again, right. Is the neighbor a witness then? Well, I mean, yeah, like, yeah. What do you mean? What if Karen is innocent? Karen is innocent. What do you mean? What do you mean? She is innocent. Well, yeah, that's another thing. Why didn't they collect? Well, here's the thing. Like, okay, I get it. They did with what they had. All right. They got solo cups because they wanted to collect it with something. It was snowing. They didn't want it all to seep into the ground. Okay, fine, cool. Whatever, right? But solo cups, like, okay, then you call the crime scene investigators to come down and you let them take the samples. Like, they put the solo cups in a paper bag, like an open paper bag. Like, that cross-contamination with skin cells, hair, like all sorts of stuff. Like, that can just fly into that bag. Like, it's weird. Like, it's like, I don't know why they would do that. I don't know why they wouldn't have called the crime scene investigation down right away. If you were already collecting, crime scene investigation, like, why? Like, why? No, like, why? It doesn't make sense. Like, find a neighbor that's a few cups short of a beer pong game. Well, Bobby, it's probably a smart idea. That's probably. Yeah, I keep hearing that they have that there's some video, but again, that would be in the evidence. Like, there would be a list of the evidence. Like, so I don't know. Like, it's not there. There's nothing there. Like, I mean, that would be bad because it would probably contain alcohol in it. So if it was like, if it had alcohol in it, it would test for that, right? Like, there you are. There you are. There you are. See, here's the thing. I don't think anybody's doing that at all. As a matter of fact, whether we agree with each other, get along or not, I still think what they did to him is wrong. I still think the First Amendment is important for not just him, but for everybody. I just think that there's a way to deal with things and there's a way not to deal with things. And also, personal attacks and not adult conversations is probably not the way to go. I still support his case because it's wrong. What they did to him is wrong. 100%. It's that should not have happened at all. Like, if it happened to anyone, it would be wrong. Doesn't really matter whether you like the person or not. It's irrelevant, really. It's irrelevant. No, a lot of stuff hasn't been made public, but again, they'd have to get it on an evidence list. So, like, anything that they're going to bring into trial has to be in discovery. So it's got to be on that list, right? And right now, well, from what we have, it's not on that list. We don't know that it has things, aren't added. But I think the judge said, she wanted to wrap up the evidence stuff by November something, if I remember correctly. I may be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Don't come for me if it's not November, but I'm pretty sure Bev said November something. She wanted to start wrapping up anything they wanted for evidence, and they wanted to start moving on. And the next thing that's going to happen is both sides are going to start asking for certain things to not be admitted into the case for the jury to hear. Now, I'm interested to see what each side doesn't want in. That's what I want to know. Like, what does the state not want the jury to hear? That'll be quite interesting to see what they argue there. Like, that is something I definitely want to see. Like, there's going to be a lot with like cross-examination and stuff, but like they're going to argue, hey, we don't think this should be admitted into evidence for the jury to see. And then the other side's going to argue the same thing. So it's like, I want to see what each side doesn't want in, right? Like, it would be interesting to see because that'll give you another like sort of aspect of like the angles that they're coming from before trial happens. Like, Well, I mean, I can't really. So here's the thing with this case, and I'll let you guys in on a little secret here. The thing with this case is it's really fucking hard to give you guys receipts. Because I did too. I told Kyle, I was said, where are you, Kyle? I did the same thing, Mary. I said, what the fuck, dude? You're late to the party. But it's hard. It's hard to, so like, there's a lot of information incoming in this case, like a lot. And sometimes you can't give the receipts you have for various reasons. So sometimes you can know something as a fact, but you can't release the receipts that go with it, again, for various reasons, whether it's safety, whether it's, someone's livelihood, job, whatever. There's a million different, or because it basically the receipt itself shows you or gives you a hint on who it is. Like there's various reasons why sometimes you just can't, right? Like, and so I would never knock anybody who can't, pop a receipt up right away, because there are certain things people just can't do. They're trying to protect their sources. And I for one, am like serious about protecting my sources, and my sources know that. So I've been thanked a billion times. Like, it's not right, A, and B, like, these people are trying to help in the way that they can. Maybe they can't come out publicly, but whatever they can help with privately, they do. And so it's like hard, it's hard to know things that you can't say because you can't verify it. Or it's hard to know things that you can verify, but you still can't, because then it would give an inkling on who gave the information, right? Like, and that's someone's livelihood, their family, their safety. And that's the biggest thing, is it's usually a safety issue. Like, of anything else, it's usually a safety issue for the person. Like, and that's the shitty part. Like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we're not going to hear till trial, trial. Yeah, but but the paper bag that they usually use are like these sort of sterile paper bags, and they don't usually put blood in solo cups. They put them, in blood tubes, like they're supposed to be sterile environments. Like, you can totally do that if you want. You can go, he's got a thing over on his channel. They use paper bags because plastic bags sweat. Yeah, they do sweat. Yep. They do sweat. You are right. Remember, we are doing a 50-50 for Karen. Because I know there's people just coming in now. There's a bunch of you just popped in. So, I mean, there's always going to be, safety on both. There's always going to be, weird shit said on both sides. I mean, that's kind of like how it works. But, you just got to roll with the punches and see what you can see. You know what I mean? Like, figure out what you can figure out. Like, he doesn't know how to behave himself, Mary. Like, I haven't heard anything yet, but again, I'm not going to, someone else's opinion is someone else's opinion. So I mean, I don't know. The only sides here are free Karen Reed and anti-Karen Reed. That's it. Well, I mean, you're probably right. You're not, stop it, squatch. Yeah. How was that squatch, by the way? Just asking for a friend. How was the squatch? Did you find a big one? Did you find a big one? Yeah, there's lots of things that happen that people can't say, like, unfortunately. She probably said it because I said it. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, well, I mean, what aren't you convinced on? Maybe we can talk about it. Like, what is it that doesn't convince you one way or another? Like which thing is it that says to you, like, meh, I'm in the middle? Like, yeah, you're not that late, lovey. Just a few minutes. Yep. Yes, exactly. That's okay. That's okay. Nope. Nobody's hating. Nobody's hating. Yep. But yeah, what is it that doesn't convince you? Like, what is it? It is. It's like that song, right? What was it? Lamb chops? Was that the thing? This is a song that never ends. That's a song, right? Like that, and that's Nancy's point. Like, it's literally like the case that never ends. Like, some people fell down a rabbit hole and down they'll go. I love it. She made a whole song about it. I'm not going to try to sing it though, Nancy, because I promise you I will butcher it. I do not belong on American Idol. I will stick to what I'm good at. That's for sure. I can't. Well, okay. So again, I think you have to remember that she has attorneys that are either in front, like if she's being interviewed, her attorneys are either in front of her off camera, beside her off camera, like and your attorneys are only going to let you do and say so much. And as a matter of fact, I'll let you in on a secret. Most attorneys tell you not to show emotion. Um, which is I hate when they do that because it's like you don't show emotion, it doesn't look human, right? Like, but that's something that attorneys do all the time. Like, no crying, no weeping, no like they'll tell you not to do it, right? Like, so I don't think you should go by interviews. I think that's something I think you need to go on the evidence, not based on interviews. Like, I mean, have you ever actually seen her in person? Like outside, like literally ever in person? Because outside the courthouse, you can not only feel the genuineness, but see it in her face and the gratitude in her face. Like, so it's a little bit different than seeing someone like you're seeing me on a screen, right? Like, I probably look a little different in person. Like, well, probably not. I mean, maybe a little. I don't know. You guys tell me. The people who know me tell me. I don't know. But like what you're seeing on screen, right? Like, isn't all of me or who I am. Like, you know, off screen, I have a very bubbly, happy, go lucky sort of personality where I like people. Like, I'm a people person. Like, I'm welcoming to people. I just like people in general. Like, I like to help people with stuff. Like, if someone comes to me right now, it's like, Elise, I can't figure out how to get myself, health insurance, or like I'm living on, you know, social security and I need help with like, how am I going to put gas in my, to get heat this winter? And I'm like, oh, hey, I know a program that can help you. Let me help you fill out the paperwork. And like, stuff like that, I'm so good at. Like, I help people do that all the time. And I I get random people who I don't even know. Like, I help take care of my neighbor upstairs. Like, was a random, obviously a random person at some point. Like, but he's a good person. Now he's like family. Like, I just make sure, he takes his meds and puts a CPAP machine on and cleans it out and grouches at me sometimes because it's a little grouchy. But, you know, yeah, it is stupid, Kyle. It is. But I'm just saying, if you saw Karen in person, I think you might have a different opinion than watching her on a screen, is what I'm trying to say. It's a little different than actually seeing someone or meeting someone in person. Thanks. Thanks, Katie. Thanks. Well, you're entitled to your opinion. I cannot sing it. I will not do it. Butcher it. Just butcher it. I'll butcher it. I would butcher it. So you got Psych 101 going on over here. She was very genuine on those courthouse steps. Very, very genuine on those courthouse steps. But again, I was there in person, so I mean, I guess it's something, but it's something that the attorneys do is tell you not to have. They tell you the same thing in court, and I think it gives no humanity to people. Like, defendants are not supposed to. They tell you, like, don't cry, don't show emotion, like don't move around too much. Like, that's something attorneys, and I never really understood that, because if your client isn't showing emotion, then people act like they don't care. Like, they're calculated, they're cold, they're not showing any remorse and they don't care. Like, that's what people get to when they don't show emotion. But when they show emotion, then they're overly hysterical, they're faking it. Like, so there's a two-way street here. Like, and that's why the attorneys just tell them, no, none at all. Don't do it. Like, it's less blowback if you do nothing than if you do something. And so that's what the attorneys do. Like, but yeah, I mean, if you met her family, like I've met, a lot of us have met Mr. Reed, her brother, Nathan, and Mrs. Reed, and that family is a class act. Like, that family, those are awesome people. Bottom line. Like, bottom line. No, it's definitely terrifying for her. Like, I don't even want to, like, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't. But again, that's why we're here, right? Because it could be anyone. Could be me, you, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your kid. Like, anyone. Like, It's okay. Yeah. There's just a lot of things you have to get past to say she might be guilty, right? Like, there's a lot of shit you gotta get past. A lot. Like, and that's my issue. Like, there's just too much. Way too much. Like, way, way too much. She was very appreciative of people being there, Mary. She really, really was. Thank you. I appreciate that, girl. Um, but yeah, she was doing this to let people know that, like, this was something that, like, she cared. Like, she's not allowed to say much. Hey, Kim, she's not allowed to say much. So, like, her attorneys have to do that for her. So this was her way of saying thank you. I appreciate all of you, and you're touching my heart. Like, because she's a defendant. Like, what else? We're not really going to get much else from her because we can't, right? Like, that's her attorney's job, is to make the bold statements, and that's his job. That's what he gets paid to do. Like, you know, that's a good question. That's a good question. It's a fair question, I think. Like, it's definitely a fair question. It's definitely a fair question. Oh, we all hate not knowing. That shit drives me crazy. I want to know everything. I want to answer all the questions. I want to see it. I want to see it now. I want to see it. I want to study it. I want to dissect it. I want to do all that. Like, you know? Oh, yeah, there's no word of a doubt that there is. 100%. 100%. Absolutely. 100%. 100% there is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We clearly know that at this point. Um, yeah, that's another problem that I have too. Is if you're gonna say, like, that whole side of Karen's guilty, they won't even admit that, like, the police royally fucked this up. This was a royal screw sandwich. Like, this was a screw job. Like, they didn't care. They served up a fucking order of "we don't give a fuck" and a side order of fucking incompetence, and nothing happened to them, per usual, but nothing happened to them. And even that side of people who are like, "Oh, she's guilty," that crap. It's constant with them still not admitting. Like, if you're gonna, like, okay, if you actually believe that, right, then you should be able to admit that these people are fucking incompetent and they fucked this up royally, right? Like, you should be able to do that. Like, yeah, see, I'm that kind of person though. Like, say some stupid shit to me like that, and I'm like, yeah, you can go fuck yourself. How about that? Like, yes, yep, she did. Yep. Karen's dad is the balls, dude. He's awesome. He's awesome. He is awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I don't know. I don't. That's because the DNA thing, obviously, because I think they asked for the DNA of all the investigating officers because they want to find out whose other DNA is on the tail light, right? And so they want to rule in or out anybody who could have touched that vehicle. That's my best guess, is they got attorneys because they want the DNA. So, I mean, I guess I think, no offense to Proctor, she probably should have got an attorney a long time ago. Jen McCabe and Carrie Roberts were hanging out at your house, bro. You don't think that's a problem? That's, if at the very least, unethical. At the very least, it's unethical. Whether her and your wife are bonding over shared harassment, which is ridiculous. But even if that is it, right? Even if that's it, it's still unethical, which again, no one believes, because that's not, they clearly knew each other previous to that. There's a shit ton of evidence to prove that. That's not the first time they met each other. That's just a bullface fucking lie. Like, and the fact that Auntie Bev hasn't called it out drives me absolutely insane. Like, lady, how much more evidence does one need to show you before you actually admit, okay, you're lying, Mr. Lally. That's not true. So let's call an apple here. And these are these children. Yeah? Can we agree to that? Like, she's just holding his hand. She's not doing it. Like, for information detail. For the deets, man. Give me the goddamn deets. Give me, yeah, yet. Yeah, yet. Exactly, yet. Oh, hey, girl, hey. Yet. That's a big fat yet. But you're right. Yet. It's a yet, nonetheless. Like, yeah. Yeah, I know. That's another thing, and that's why her attorneys are gonna tell her not to. Like, that's what your attorney's job is to do, right? Like, that's what your attorney's job is to do. Well, Ralphie, I'm pretty sure a car didn't do that to his body. So, if they're claiming that Karen got in a car at and hit him at 24.2 miles an hour at 62 feet, then I'd say, yes, I am 100% sure. Yes, I am. You got another theory you want to throw? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, yeah, probably not. Probably not. Well, that's another thing, right? The incompetence is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I love this comment, Katie. That's right. 100%. 100%. Like, I love it. Well, that's the thing. You got to check the evidence, dude. Like, there's so much of it. Like, so much. It's no, I don't think they ever intended to just set up Karen, to be honest. I don't think that was the intention at all. I think something went wrong really quickly. And she had left already, and the 3-point turn theory came to him because of the lines in the snow or whatever. And it kind of just came to fruition where this was the best out. And they just kind of went with it. Like, I don't think it was ever intended to, like, purposely be, let's frame Karen, right? Like, I don't think that's how it happened at all. Like, but, yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, well, that's another thing. I don't have a nest egg either. Like, she's lucky. She was smart. She worked at Fidelity. Like, she graduated. Like, she's smart. She's a very smart woman. Like, she's a very, very intelligent and smart woman, as she should be. Like, I'm gonna turn this down a little because it's just gonna keep going off, and I don't want to annoy you people with that. But I still need to be able to hear the notifications. So I'm just gonna turn it down a little smidgen. Did she type in her computer about dying in the snow? No, that's not what happened. So what happened was Jen McCabe, who was the homeowner's sister-in-law, typed into her phone at it was saved to the back check at 2:27, saved to the thing, to the tab at 2:27 a.m. And she typed in house long to die in cold. Now, they claim that John would have already been, Karen would have already hit him on the lawn, right? Well, if Jen McCabe thought that he was home in bed and he just didn't come in, what reason would she have with Karen? What reason would she have to be Googling how long to die of cold at 2:27 a.m.? Fruition, yeah. Yes, well, that's another thing. It is a good thing. 100% a good thing. Trying to set her free and put an end to the corruption to save people in the future from suffering the same circumstances. It's pushing people to take a stand, and they should make and take a stand. It is a good thing. It's a great thing. I think people should do it on more issues, to be honest, like important ones, of course, like, but I think it was totally accidentally. Totally accidentally. I don't think that was something that was like intended from the start or Jump Street. Like, I mean, I wonder, I don't know. That's up to her attorneys. Like, it's up to her attorneys whether, they decide to put her on the stand or not. But I'd be interested to see if they do. I mean, I don't really see a reason why they would, to be honest. There's not really a reason. Like, for what? For her to be badgered by the other side? Like, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that being stupid. Kind of. Um, if it goes to trial, I seriously doubt they will put Karen on the scene. Well, I already read that one. What's a 50-50? It's I offered to give 50% of the donations I make on my show to Karen. So 50% would go to Karen, her defense fund, and 50% would go to me. If she has done TV shows, I'm sure she's going on stand. I mean, maybe. That's not always how it works out, though. It's not always how it works out. Just because she did interviews doesn't mean she's going to be put on the stand. That's a calculated move, whether they decide to do it or not. They got to weigh the pros and cons, you know? Like, it's... Yeah, I mean, that's a good theory. Like, could have been possible. Like, they're ready to pin it on Lucky or whoever else plowed that night. Well, you guys have to remember Wendy Murphy's theory, right? Like, that he got moved by the plow. Like, moved by the plow. That's ridiculous. Like, that's utterly ridiculous. You get moved by the goddamn plow. Like, that's not a thing, dude. That is not a thing. Not a thing at all. Not a fucking thing at all. Like, the amount of damage that would be to his body if that actually happened. Like, if he actually got moved by a plow, like, it would be insurmountable. Like, it would be, he'd have abrasions, scratches, like, stuff everywhere. Like, everywhere. You know, every freaking where. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if they want to put her on the stand because then she'd have to get, you know, they'd badger the hell out of her, dude. And that's not I don't think her attorneys want that either. Like, she shouldn't have to deal with that either. Like, fitty fitty. Yeah, a fitty fitty. It does. And it is a good thing. You want to share the story with the world, really, not just with people in our area, but with the world. Like, that's something we should be sharing with anyone and everyone. Like, it's something that could happen anywhere. It couldn't just happen in Massachusetts. It could happen in California. It could happen in Arizona. It could happen in Indiana. Like, it could happen literally anywhere, right? Like, anywhere. And that's kind of the point, right? And that's what pisses people off so much about this whole thing is that this could be anywhere and it could happen to anybody we love or we know or even ourselves. And that's what got so many people to stand up and say, hold on a second here. I'm going to look at this evidence because people are saying it's fishy. So I'm going to look at it and I'm going to see what I see for myself. That's what I did. I took it all and I looked at it and I dissected it and I said, holy shit. And it's funny because I saw it on the news. I think it was like the second day, like, right. It was like the day after it happened or whatever it was, 2 days after it happened, whatever day it was on. And I happened to be at my mother's house because I don't even do cable here. We haven't done cable in years. We cut the cord years ago. But I saw it on the news at my mom's. I was at my mom's and I saw it on the news and I literally turned to my husband and I was like, something don't smell right about that. And then I forgot about it, right? Then I forgot about it. I forgot all about it until the Google search came out. And then I was like, hold the motherfucker. Hold up. And then I literally said to my husband, I said, I told you something wasn't right about that, dude. Like, I fucking felt it. Like, I literally felt that something was not right with that. Like, and I was right. Like, I was right. I forgot about it. And that's shame on me. But again, like, we all have lives and, like, you know, it happens. But like, I think this is also what made people go, wait a second. For a year, she was by herself. For a year, nobody was talking about it. And she was just being railroaded. And like, so now a ton of people know. And a ton more people should know. And a ton more people should talk about it because it's wrong. Like, no matter what way you slice the pie, dude, like, this could be anybody we know or love. And it's not okay. Like, it's not okay. They are continuing to fuck up and get caught and cover it for themselves. And this isn't just, she's not going to get a timeout in the corner. And it's like, oh, they covered up like a small thing. She's fine. It's a timeout. It's like a Kyle timeout in the corner with his little sign, right? We're going to make you signs for your timeouts, Kyle. It's not, right? Like, she would go to jail for life. Like, this isn't just a little thing they're trying to cover up. Like, and people are like, well, why would they do this big conspiracy? And why would they risk their pensions? That's my favorite one. Why would they risk their pensions? I have seen corruption multiple times in my life. One of the times was last year, and it was over them trying to cover up the fact that one of their girlfriends or wives, a cop's girlfriend or wife, hit someone else. Happened to be my husband. first thing she said when she got out of the car was, "My husband's a cop." Now, we don't know if it was actually her husband or not. But either way, they tried to cover that up, that she was at fault for that. So they're trying to cover up an accident, just a simple car accident. What the fuck else do you think they would cover up? If they're willing to risk their pension on a fucking car accident, dude. Like, you know, no, don't feel stupid. Don't feel stupid, Bob. Plenty of people didn't know. Thank you, Katie. Plenty of people didn't know. Plenty of them. You're not the only one. I'm sure there was plenty of other people going about their everyday life that had no fucking idea. Yes, she will, Kim. Yes, she freaking will. I mean, there was only, here's the thing, but when he would have, okay, so when they claim he would have been hit, there would have been almost nothing on the ground of snow. When they did find him, there was only about 2 inches. So that's the hard part. Like, that's the hard part. Yeah, I think it twisted. She didn't confess, Paisley. There was no confession. I don't know where you get that from, but that's would be false information. She did not confess to anything. Yeah, she is opining. Wendy opines a lot of shit. Wendy Murphy opines a lot of stuff. It's lunch probably sex on crime. Oh, I would love. Unfortunately, he doesn't usually get cross-examined. The DA doesn't, but that would be the ADA. If the ADA could get cross-examined, oh boy. Oh man, that would be great. Oh man, I think that would be a good show. I think that he would just sit in the chair and go, "I subsequently opine that this is going to be exhaustive." Like, subsequently opined. It's just going to be exhaustive for me to be on the stand. Uh, it is happening everywhere. It's not just here. It happens all over the place. Like, you know, okay, there's a big difference between saying I did and could I have, when a bunch of people are questioning how this could have happened and making you think that you could have possibly hit someone. That's a thinking out loud sort of thing. Like, could I have hit him? Could that have been like, when you're trying to make sense of the fact that your loved one is laying on a lawn in the snow, basically at death's door, what goes through your brain? None of us know. We're not there. But I can only imagine, right, that every scenario runs through your head. I have lost somebody close to me in a horrific way. I lost my fiance in 2006 to a house fire that he got out of and went back in for someone else. And that was tough, dude. And I did a lot of those what ifs because I told him I would pick him up the next day. I did the what if I didn't go to work that night? What if I didn't work that overnight shift? What if I had just picked him up and played hooky? Like, what if he didn't go back in? What if what they say happened didn't actually happen? Like, I did the what ifs for years after he passed. For years, dude. And I still to this day occasionally will give a what if on it. What ifs don't help. Okay. They don't. But in the moment, that's what you're doing because you're trying to make sense of it and your brain's not making any sense of what just happened at all. None. There's a big difference between that and saying, I did it. I hit someone. Like, there's a very, very big difference. A very, very big difference. Like, I mean, I could have, but again, I wasn't streaming back then, and like I just followed true crime myself. Like, it's something I just did on my own, but I didn't, obviously. But I did feel like something was fishy. I really did. That's a story that I've told a million times. The story's never changed. That's what happened. I did not go anywhere with it, obviously, but I felt in my gut that something wasn't right when I saw that on the news. I just felt like, and I don't even have news. It's happened to me at my mom's. Like, for that, I'm like, wow, I must have been in there. Like, I must have been there for a reason. Like, I very much believe in, like, there must have been a reason for that. Like, there had to be, like, you were, huh? Interesting. Then I saw the video of her nailing John's car and ring cam and the Google search. Yeah, that video of her hitting John's car. People are like, I can't see it. And I'm like, you need to go to listen, bring it up on your computer, zoom in to the tire on his car, and then play it back, and then play it back again, and then play. You can literally see his tire move and rock forward, and some of the snow like falls off. You can see it clear as day. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She hit his car. That happened. You know? Yeah, it does. It does only take one. That's right. You know? Hey, please do. Please do. That you didn't no need to apologize. Skeletor. Oh man. Have you ever seen someone who was hit by a plow? I'm just asking. Like I'm being serious. Have you ever seen someone who was hit by a plow? It would definitely not be exactly the same. He absolutely now fun fact for you guys, I actually know somebody who hit someone with their plow. About it to be an accident, but it happened. And I had a friend who worked in I still have a friend, she's probably watching, a level 5 trauma center. So if you're here, Tina, feel free to explain this one. Level 5 trauma center in New Hampshire. And when you see someone who's come in who's been hit by a car or a plow, if that's what you want to go with the plow thing, they most certainly have stuff from the neck down. It's not just consistent with an arm and a head. There's more injury to your body if you're getting picked up or pushed over by a plow. And there just was none of that. There was none of that on John. None. None at all. Yeah, Cooks County is pretty bad. There's a spot in Wisconsin that's pretty bad. Some in New York. I mean, there's plenty of places, but Massachusetts is a twisted tragedy right now. Like it literally is. Yeah, come on, guys. That would be great. Don't be shy. We are a fun clan over here. You know what I mean? Damn it. Right. A dance to avoid injury. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. I mean, maybe he was doing the robot. I don't know. Maybe. That's possible, right? Like maybe he was playing Twister. Just Twister? Anyone? No? He wasn't playing Twister? Maybe. Could be. Yeah, those campaign posters and the website and like bro, you killed somebody. Why? Like why? Why? Why, for the love of God? Why? Like and that's another thing. You would also have more internal damage, not just external, but more internal as well. Like a plow is not something you want to be hit by. That's definitely not. Oh, she's so cute though. But the grandbaby's so cute. And I can totally picture her. Spelling contest. And animal sounds while you're at it. Like, yeah, there was not a confession. Yeah, that's the problem, right? That's kind of the problem. Like, depends on the body. Would have been in the circle park. Yeah, but you have to get picked up by the plow first. The blade, right? And the blade would have, and that's the thing. If you're gonna get pushed by a plow, so there's gonna be multiple internal and external injuries, other places than just your head or your arm, right? Like, I can't wait for that 911 call, Kim. I cannot wait for that. I literally cannot wait because I have an idea of what is going to be on it, right? Like we all should have an idea based on the reports, right? Now, that's a good way to call them out on their reports too, because if it ain't there, right? If it's not there, then we can say, but you said in your report, Sergeant Fuckface, Officer Dickhead, you said this, and this is not the same as what's happening on the 911 call, because we know that when the 911 call happened, Karen threw herself over John, and I think she asked for like towels or blankets. I forget which one it was. She was trying to like warm him up. So it's like, are those the actions of someone that you think actually hit someone the night before on purpose? Because you have to prove intent for murder. that she intentionally killed him, right? Are the actions of someone who killed someone on purpose to call around to try to find them, drive around all the areas they were the night before, end up at the back at the same house that you were at to look for him and finding him on the front lawn, then throwing yourself over him, being hysterical. Is that the actions of someone? Like, you have to ask yourself that. Like, do you really think? Also, you left a voicemail to tell him he was an asshole because you thought he just went in the house and never came back out. Are those the actions of someone you think are guilty? The answer to that would be clearly no. Like, clearly no. You know? Right. Well, that's half the problem. She knew that she hit John's car because she knew she had cracked the taillight, I think. But again, they were all drinking. All of them. Like, I drink occasionally. I drink like maybe 5 or 6 times a year. Not my cup of tea. I mean, it's a good theory. It could be. I mean, we don't know, right? Like, we don't know because we weren't there. Like, that there's a lot of people that think that John had some sort of info on them that they didn't want him to have, or some sort of thing that he knew that he shouldn't have known. I mean, there's a lot of theories. And again, we don't know. We don't know. It's a good theory. We may never know. Obviously, we'll find out what comes out in trial. But I mean, I would hope to get a better theory out of what the motive would have been. And I'm sure the defense has some sort of theory because they're doing a third-party culpability case. So I'm sure they have, I mean, it's not their job to solve the case, but I'm sure they have some idea. And I would love to hear what it is that they think, like, because they obviously have more information than any of us. So, you know, it is what it is. 100%. Yeah. Oof. That's ugly. I was ejected from a car once. It flipped and I went out. I don't know if it's ejected, but the window was open. I went out the window onto the highway. And I'll tell you what I got there. All up and down my body was like just rash, like road rash, broken bones. Ugh. I don't even want to know what it is that you see, Lovey. It's probably a lot. Like, it's probably a lot. You know? Yeah. No one has a theory for that other than it didn't happen, which it did. 100% happened. That's right. You do. Yes, you do, sir. And proud of it. Proud of it. Like, 100%. Or the arm scratches. And the autopsy photo. Yeah, I found that interesting as well. He's wearing the socks still, but they don't normally take everything off. They just want to take off whatever's here so that if they need to use the machines to try to resuscitate you, that they can do it. They most of the time will just cut off your clothes here and your pants and leave your socks on. It does happen, but I'm like, if they took everything, why wouldn't they just... But the socks don't really matter. They're not looking to do anything with the feet. They're trying to... Everything they want to do to him is from the waist up to try to save his life. That's why. But again, I wonder if there was. We didn't see. I don't know. There's no pictures of his feet. At least we don't have them. I'm sure the defense probably does, but you know, we don't know. We probably won't ever know. I don't think that's something, unless they found something they're even going to bring up at trial. If they found something that's suspicious, the defense, then yeah, you'll probably, if there's a picture that exists, then you'll see it. Like, right? Like, it is, you know. Yeah, it's hard to look at. It is. It is, but it's also important for people to look at them and say, holy shit, what happened here? Right? Like, what the hell? Oh, that's no good. No good. I mean, Lucky's going to be a very good witness. You guys know that. He's going to be a extremely important witness because he saw no body at 2:30 in the morning. And again, those people, all of those people who left that house, no one saw a body. No one. Not a single person saw a goddamn body. Not a single body. I mean, not a single person saw a body. They came out of that house. Now, remember, when those people, if you see the pictures too, their cars are all parked inward. So in order to get out of that driveway, they have to back out. And if you're going to back out of that driveway, your headlights are going to be aiming at some point directly where John's body would have been. But no one's our body. No one at all. And that's another thing that's like, that has to irk you and has to make you wonder, like, why would no one see a body if John was laying there? And I know the pictures make it look like that's a huge yard and it's so far from the, it's not, it's small. That front yard is very small. There's no way you would have missed him if you came out that front door and went to your car. No way. Only with less than 2 inches of snow? No. There's no way. It's just not possible. Like, pack of drunken assholes. Irish drunken assholes, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sure Lucky's dealing with a lot. Like, right. Exactly. The voicemail would have been more like, honey bunny, when are you coming home? Like, it wouldn't have been a, you're a fucking asshole. Like, you're incriminating yourself. Who does that? Nobody's that dumb. I mean, actually, I'm not going to say nobody's that dumb. There's been some dumb criminals in life. And a lot of dumb criminals. But she's not a stupid person. So that's not a thing. Not a stupid person at all. He needs, I don't think he needs protection, but I think he knows that people, support him. I support him. I'm sure everybody else supports him. I think he knows that, like, everyone supports him. 48 mile per hour and just scraping in one arm. Yeah, it also had legs and walked away. I mean, that is plausible, tough guys. John O'Keefe's little Albert words get said. That's definitely a plausible theory. There's a couple plausible theories. Well, there's a lot of plausible theories, but there's a couple really good, plausible, fluid theories here. I'm just interested to see what the defense says for their plausible theory. Like, yeah, but here's the thing. If she acts, okay. Here's my argument for that. Okay. If she and I like Kevin. So, but, and we don't agree on this, and that's fine. Me and him have talked about that before. Like, I don't agree with him. That's okay. He doesn't have to agree with me on these theories. That's cool. That's fine. But if it was an accident, right? This theory here, if it was an accident, right? She would still be innocent because she's being charged with murder, which is intent. So, yeah. So again, she's innocent of those charges. A accident isn't murder. An accident isn't manslaughter either. So an accident is an accident, right? Those happen all the time and no one gets charged because it's just a bad accident. Like, but they're charging her with murder. So for that theory to work, well, you got to bring your signs if you get hit by a plow truck. All right. Maybe we can give you a timeout plow truck. It can just scoop you off into timeout corner. Like, maybe we do that for Kyle. For your birthday. That's what we're going to do for you. For my birthday, we're going to get a bus. But for your birthday, we're going to get you a plow that pushes you to your timeout corner. Evidence that got who there? Okay, well then don't. Okay, so this is okay. There's a lot of things that are possible. Okay. You don't want to watch my stream? Don't. But don't come here to do this. If you're coming here to, like, just throw a bunch of questions out and be an asshole, like, don't waste my time or yours or my viewers' time. My viewers come here because they watch my show and they like to have these discussions that maybe other creators don't have with them. I choose to interact with my live chat. I like to do that. Maybe other people don't. I choose to. It's what I choose to do on my show. You can totally make your own and do that. It's up to you. They question Lucky. Yeah, well, that's another thing that they also told him not to talk to the media. And, like, you can't tell him that. That's not part of our job. A job doesn't get to tell you who you can talk to or who you can't unless you work for, like, the cops. And then they can be like, don't talk to the media. But no, other jobs don't get to say, like, you can talk to the media or you're not going to talk to the media. That's your right. It's called freedom of press. There's a thing. Yeah. And also First Amendment. So yeah, you know, men do cry. Newsflash, they do. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it. I have seen it happen. You know? Yeah, that's very true. Scanlon was definitely a big reason. Big reason. You got it, Bob. I actually help people with stuff like that all the time. Obviously, I tell them to get an attorney. I usually go with them to their attorney's office and stuff. Pro se, though, is difficult. They don't want you to do pro se. A lot of it, judges will tell you not to go with pro se, even if you do know what you're doing. They just don't like it. Judges don't like it. They feel like even if you know what you're doing, like maybe you fuck up and they don't want to be the reason. So they always tell you to get one instead. I'm like, hey, lady, unless you're going to pay for it, you're telling other people they don't qualify for it and to get their own attorney, but they can't afford their own attorney. Then guess what option they have left? Pro se. Like, oh, I'm sure they were because you work in a trauma center. So they would definitely be regular looking at those autopsy pictures. Like, yeah, oh, absolutely. Any plow would definitely know that they hit something that big because you're just pushing snow. You're not pushing bodies. Like, 100% they would feel that. 100%. Hello, Paula. I heard that as well. But also at the beginning, I think they were planning on bullying him a little at the DPW and then realized fairly quickly that if they did, it would be very, very bad for them. So they chose not to, which was probably smart because he could sue you. Like, he could sue you for that. Like, I know they hope that it doesn't happen, but, you know, well, Higgins and Scanlon are just basically made themselves scarce. Absolutely have made themselves scarce. That's for sure. Like, 100%. I did hear that as well, Jen. I heard that dumb. No, I'm gonna push you with the plow truck. Hit you with the plow truck. I can just push you into the corner. It's fine. Like, it's fine. Just trust me, it's fine. Like, you know? No, absolutely not. You know, that's a thing. Like, that would be awfully dumb of them because, again, like, you're trying to say it's not a conspiracy. Well, that would be awfully stupid to try to, murk someone and put them in snow. Skilled to one to Gary Busey. I can't. I literally can't. And this is why, Kyle. This is why. And you were late, goddammit. Like, yeah, we don't have to drink anyone's Kool-Aid, man. I happen to like the fruit punch flavor. You might not. Like, you might. It's in the corner. Well, someone get him a sign. Only asshole allowed to go. Here's okay, rocks. Listen. Yeah, barefoot. Back to the damn corner. Like, it was not a good time. Oh, boy. Why would you do such a thing? Why? Why would you do such a thing? I am sharp. I should be sharp since I friggin', obviously I don't know everything on planet Earth. I'm not, people, do fuck shit up once in a while and I am tired oftentimes. But yes, I do usually know. Like, come on now. Raspberry lemonade. Ooh, that one's good too. Just saying. You are you, goddammit. I'm the problem, it's me. Tea time. Oh, squashing, you mean? Yeah. You missed Riccio, dude. Like, you weren't here for that. Like, you missed him already. Like, you missed that part. Like, Gary Busey's daughter. I can't deal. All right. You're getting me off track here. We got to go over some Delphi shit, too. We got to. Yeah, well, I'm also interested into what the feds in general are doing. But again, they work in silence, my friends. They work in the dark, and that's how they operate. That's how they will always, always operate. Like, they are not gonna, like, I know everybody's expecting, like, hammer to come down and them to just stop this whole thing. That's not gonna happen. It's not the way it works, unfortunately. I have no jurisdiction to stop this whole thing. So that's number one. Number two, they do investigate corruption, right? And they wouldn't have convened a grand jury if they didn't have good evidence of something. What that something is, I don't fucking know, right? But what we do know is there was a lot of people that were subpoenaed there to go testify in front of the grand jury. And I would love to be a fly on that fucking wall to know why, right? But the feds don't convene a grand jury unless they basically have what they need to indict, right? Their track record is like 99 or 98. Like, it's something ridiculous. Like, they don't do it unless they know it's a fucking hole in one, like, basically. Unless someone fucks up on a technicality or something, like, they do it when they have a damn hole in one. Like, that's when the feds do it. And they always work in the darkness, and they always work methodically and slowly, painfully, fucking slowly. That's how they work, unfortunately. That's how the feds will always work, unfortunately. But they're not going to swoop in and say, stop this, stop charging Karen Reed, and we're not having this, we're not having this. We're not having this whole thing. We're not doing it. It's not happening. They cannot do that. They can't do that. They have no jurisdiction to do that, nor are they going to do that. There's a few things they can do, though. They can drop a bunch of indictments and made it really fucking difficult for the state to continue on with their case. Or they can do nothing. They can do nothing, and they can let the trial play out, and then they can drop indictments, and then there would be grounds for, all sorts of different appeals and all sorts of different things. So, whatever they're going to do, they're going to do it when they're good and ready, not when we're good and ready. But I'm going to tell you right now, if, say, the feds came in, they found nothing, because you don't hear that from the other side, is the feds have nothing. They're already done. What? No. If the feds were already done, right, and they had nothing, they would have never convened a grand jury. There would be no reason for them to. They would have investigated and been like, all right, nothing to see here. Guess we're wrapping this up, fellas. Let's go. Like, that's what they would have done. 100% what they would have done. They're not gonna convene a grand jury. And just to be clear here, a federal grand jury can be convened for 18 months. After that 18 months, guess what? They can reconvene. So people are expecting that it's only going to last 18 months. That's not how it works. They can reconvene that grand jury again. And so it's like, there is no time limit on this. There isn't going to be like, oh, it's been 18 months. Let's do this. Like, that's not how it's going to work at all. Like, I wish that's how it worked, but that's just not how it's going to, like, oh, body cam's gone wrong. I don't even want to know. I mean, I don't have a ton of faith in the FBI as a whole, Bob, but they'd be awfully stupid to fuck this up. They would be very stupid, because there would be a lot of blowback on, all right, now we need to keep a better eye on the feds. Now we need some new like, that would cause a shitstorm that they don't want. They don't want it. They don't need it. Like, so I do have a little faith that they're going to do what they're supposed to do. Right. Like, yeah. And everybody should watch a show like that. Then if it teaches what your rights are, everyone should know them. I said this last night. Everyone should know your fucking rights. Everyone. All of them. You should know all of them. Like, and it literally is like sad. And I hate to say this because there are good cops out there, but most cops don't even know the laws they're enforcing. Okay. They don't. They infringe on your rights all the time, and they don't even know it, because they're not required to know all of it, which is a problem, and it should be a problem for everyone. I need to fix this. I have like a pillow on this chair because it hurts my butt, and it's not working for me here. Like, what is happening here? Chair? Hello, McFly? I don't understand here. We're going to try it this way. All right, a little better. I need to get like another pillow under here or something. I got my cricket stuff over here next to me. Asking for a friend. Yes, we do have the right to live peacefully in your own privately bubbled space. Asking for a friend, yeah. Yeah, I did hear that, like, this fine young man who's a scholar and a gentleman. I'm like, okay. Alrighty then. Sure thing. Mother Goose called. She'd like her stories back, please. Like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, I get it. He's young. And when you're young, you're brazen and maybe a little cocky. Like, we probably all were a little bit like that when we were younger, but it seems to me as he's more like a fighter. He wants to fight more. Like, that's probably like an anger problem. That's something you need, like, therapy for. Like, and there's probably a lot of things that probably all those people need therapy for, to be honest. Like, I read someone witnessed a bank robbery and the FBI questioned a witness. Went away for over a year. Guy fought about it. Next thing, FBI back in case went forward. Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you just let it go, they're going to let it go. They're not going to do shit until you make a big stink out of it if they let it go first. But if you make a big enough stink where people are saying stuff, guess what? Then they're going to go back into it because that's bad PR. And they don't need any more bad PR than what they've already had for a long, long time. Like, OP times cops were. That's the thing. They weren't always like that. They literally weren't always like that. They weren't. Like, I was just saying this the other day. They used to drive through your neighborhoods, right? Stop. When I was a kid, they would like turn the sirens on and they would ride you around the neighborhood in the car. And sometimes they would call the fire department down and put the hose out for the kids in the summertime. Like, I remember knowing the cops that patrolled my neighborhood, like in Quincy or in South Weymouth. Like, I remember them. I know them by name, like still to this day. So it's like, I couldn't tell you who works those neighborhoods anymore. I still have family and friends in those neighborhoods. I couldn't tell you because they don't even get out of their car anymore. Safety, right? Like, no. Why is it only safety for you and it wasn't safety for them? They were less safe because there wasn't cameras everywhere. You're more safe and you still don't get out of the car. There's no interaction with the public unless it's you being a dick to the public. Like, the interaction is you pulling someone over and giving them a ticket for a taillight that they probably didn't even know was out. That's the interaction. So how can anybody have a good thought of it when it's only you fucking with tax-paying citizens who are already paying out their assholes for living in this goddamn state and taxes everywhere anyway, to then getting harassed about a taillight you probably didn't even know was out? Like, let's get real. When they say, well, you should have known, you should have checked. Sir, officer, fuckface, did you get in your car today? Turn your lights on. Have someone get in your car and step on the brake and then walk around it to make sure. Did you do that today, officer fuckface? Then why the hell would you expect that anybody else will? Also, that takes two people. They're genius. Just saying. Just asking for a friend. Like, did you do that this morning? Oh, you didn't? Oh, then don't say something so fucking ridiculous. Because oftentimes they'll say something stupid like that. Like, come on. I wish they would have. Welfare check. Price check on prune juice, Bob. Price check on prune juice. Hey, I mean, you could totally try that if you want. Sovereign citizen, those arguments don't seem to work. But I'm not gonna lie, some of those arguments, like the right to travel argument, is actually not a bad, and it's a pretty constitutionally sound argument of we have the right to travel. Like, nobody said we had the right to pay 1,000 taxes on licenses and registrations, and you have the right to travel. Their argument is, well, you have the right to travel on your sneakers. Well, it doesn't say it. It wasn't specified in the Constitution what way you had to travel. And if they wanted to be specific, they would have been specific. Like, they had been in other things. Like, so, I mean, he could be. I mean, and we know he came out of Bridgewater, so. But how do we know? I don't know. The latest on what, though? There's no latest on that right now. What do you mean? I'm confused. The latest on what? Probably not Alex Murdaugh. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's kind of where this is like a little similar, right? The Murdaugh case. The Murdaughs ran that town for a long time just doing dirt and, nothing. Like, nobody blinked an eye. Like, ever. Yeah, Officer Fuckface. We say that over here. I say that over here. There's actually some Sergeant Fuckface MSP hats in my shop. Get them while I'm hot. Yeah, before they were less safe before cell phones, that's for sure. That's a good question. They totally should, though. Bang, bang. That video just like it plays in my head over and over and over. Like he's in timeout. I'm sure he's fine. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, she might, it's just like tequila. you know, tequila on the wrist. Oh man. If you're gonna baby someone, I mean, Jesus. Let's get some stuff up here. I got something about I gotta go over something on the Delphi stuff. Also, if you just popped in, we are doing the 50-50 for Karen. Oh, I should probably read the ones that are here. That would probably be smart, right? Let's do that. Let's do that before I go on to the Delphi stuff that I got today. Okay. Oh, Patricia Murphy. That was super nice of you. Patricia sends 150 and says 50-50 Karen Reed Defense Fund. Thank you, Patricia. Oh, we have an anonymous of $10. Thank you, anonymous. Those are the two from here. Yes, no, maybe. It's like freezing on me. Hold on. Stop freezing on me, please. Paula sends $5 for being me. Thank you, Paula. All right, let's check the other one real quickie. Maybe not. Richard Allen's, that case is just a shit show, dude. I can't even believe like half this, like the judge is fucked. I mean, I don't understand, dude. I don't understand in that goddamn case. Like, I really freaking don't. Like, all right, let's see what we got here. We got, come on, load already. Teresa sends $5 and says, I'm rooting for you and your pages to grow. Thank you, Teresa. Kim sends $10. Thank you, Kim. I don't think I can't see it. Am I not seeing it? Is there not? Okay, there's no. I was looking for a comment. There was no comment on it. All right. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Awesome. 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 All right. All right. Oh wait. I gotta check. I gotta do PayPal too because I always forget and then I get yelled at because I forgot. Because I forgot. I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget. Nope. Okay. Just making sure I don't want to forget PayPal. Because sometimes I do because it's an email and it doesn't pop up like a normal notification. So I just want to make sure. All right. So I'll put that up while I get the stuff and just answer these last couple comments here. And then we'll go on to the Delphi stuff that we're going to talk about. Because if you guys, I mean, first of all, how many of you have been following the Delphi case? Like, how many? Oh, well, Irish could buy much. Just saying. It's like, oh, the first sentence. I know, right? You gotta read past the first sentence. Jesus, Bobby, get your mind out of the goddamn gutter. Just okay. All right. So, right? Who told him he could leave? Like, who told him that was a thing? Not a thing. You don't get what? You don't get to leave. Damn it, Kyle. Somewhat following. Okay. So, yes. Yes. So, yes, kind of. Yes. All right. Here we go. Let's pull up the nonsense of Delphi at the moment. Hold on. Let me get it up here. Get the rope. Get the rope, Jen. Get it. Rail him back in. All right. All right. Let's do this one. Even though, no, back, because we got to get the, hold on. This one. All right. And I got to remember, I only have one screen, so I'm not going to be able to see comments when I'm reading it. I can only do one thing at a time. But I need to take a screenshot of that and send it. I'm just saying, because if Kyle actually left, it's a funny comment. He needs to see it, like, which clearly he did. Just saying. Yeah, Delphi is kind of a crazy thing. Like, it's kind of a crazy case to begin with. Like, I don't understand. Like, there's a lot of fuckery going on in that. Like, a lot. Like, a whole lot. But, I mean, the judge is starting to piss me off too, though, because it's like the judge still has to act appropriately, and the judge is not acting appropriately. So, exposure of the lawyers in the photos, the judge wants the lawyers are free of charge or not. She denied it, so she has to. Yeah, well, so that's okay. So, all right. So I'm not gonna be able to see you guys' comments when I'm trying to pull this up, but let me get it up here. Wrong one. Judge in the Delphi. Okay. Judge in Delphi killing gets extension to file briefs with Supreme Court. This is the judge right here, if you guys can see that. This is Indianapolis. Crap. Why is it on that one? Hold on. It's on the wrong, tab. It didn't move with that tab. Maybe you can see it now. This is the judge. All right, that's the judge, okay? I need to get some of these off the goddamn screen because there's too many of them and it's fucking me up right now. Hold your horses. Delphi is so slow because they're fucking shit up over there. Like, they're fucking shit up. So it says Special Judge Frances Gull, this lady here. She looks fun, right? She looks fun. Let's make a shirt that says she looks fun. Received a 1-week extension of time to file briefs opposing writs to be issued against her by the Indiana Supreme Court. Gull is the appointed judge presiding over the case of Richard Allen, who's suspected of the Delphi killings of Libby German and Abby Williams on February 13th, 2017. On a day off from school, Liberty, who was 14 and Abigail 13, hiked the trail around the Monon High Bridge. When the girls did not show up for their ride home, family members became concerned and a search began, joined by many in the Delphi community. So Delphi is the place where they lived. That's why it's called Delphi. It's a weird name, right? Their bodies were found the next day on Valentine's Day, about a quarter of a mile east of the Monon High Bridge. The Indiana Attorney General's office declined to represent Gull or the Carroll Circuit Court in the filing. So Gull has Indianapolis attorney Matthew Gutwin representing her. So the judge has this attorney, Matthew Gutwin, representing her in this whole thing. The Indiana Attorney General's office didn't want to represent her. What does that tell you? They clearly knew she was probably wrong in this. The Attorney General's office represents the state officials and prosecutors' offices in legal actions, including appeals and lawsuits. That's why it's weird that they didn't do it. But okay, whatever. An order issued Friday gave Gull's legal counsel until November 16th to file briefs against a request for the Indiana Supreme Court to review Gull's legal rulings in Allen's case and reverse decisions that on October 30th filing alleged are incorrect. Okay, now, here's the problem, is the judges had a lot of issues in this, okay? A lot. Pardon, yeah. A lot of issues with the way she has done this case. And you wouldn't really want a judge like this anyway. And you definitely wouldn't want it for a guy who clearly killed people, because then he may get off because you're a fucking idiot. Like, so that's part of the problem. You know, like, they have plenty of evidence that this guy is definitely the person who murdered those two girls, and awfully, like, you know, no cult. I mean, yeah, he looks in rough shape, that's for sure. He definitely looks like he's in rough fucking shape, dude. But Richard Allen deserves to be in rough shape, in my opinion. Like, you know, oh yeah, the rope. Yeah, that's an inside joke. But yeah, when he got nailed, he went into Harry Weinstein death mode. I mean, it's not a shocker, right? Like, but again, this judge has not made it easy for them to be able to convict him quickly, because I don't know what the hell she's doing. I honestly don't. Maybe she needs to fucking, head check herself here. I'm not sure. Like, you know, he should be tortured by what he did. I would hope so. If this Delphi guy is innocent, Karen is going to heaven. Well, I mean, I wouldn't think she's going to hell, so. But nonetheless, right? Let's move on. It says, you guys love this. I love this. This is an Auntie Bev line, right? The Indiana Supreme Court's order on Friday states once briefing is complete, the court will take the matter under advisement. I love the under advisement thing nowadays. Back in the day, you see they'd read it and they'd rule on it, yes or no. Not, we'll take it under advisement for however many days until we decide to figure out if we're going to do it or not. The motion for writs seek to force Gull, which is the judge, to open court filings to public inspection, as well as reinstate Allen's original defense team of Andrew, Baldwin, and Brad Rossi. Now, these attorneys, Baldwin and Rossi, are basically saying that they were told, like, you either recuse yourself off of this and take yourself off, or we're going to publicly shame you in the courtroom for whatever. And so they were basically like given an ultimatum. And so they filed to go back on the case because you can't do that. And the judge said no. What? What do you mean no? That's not, what do you mean no? You're saying no to them being his attorneys? Like, what do you mean, dude? Like, Delphi judges on T-Bev system, maybe. Oh, he's definitely, in my opinion, guilty. Like, no word of a doubt. Like, none whatsoever. Like, it's funny though. Like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, I don't understand like what the judge thinks that she's doing here. But all right, moving on. It says the motion for writ seeks to force Gull to open court filings to public. Oh, I did that part right. I'll read it again. Yeah, to public inspection, as well as reinstate Allen's original defense team of Andrew, Baldwin, and Brad Rossi. The second request for a writ of prohibition, seeks to block Gull, the judge, from interfering with the appeal while it's pending the Supreme Court's decision. So they don't want the judge on the case to interfere, which she shouldn't anyway. But again, clearly she's been doing some shit that she shouldn't be. A writ of mandamus is a request for a court order for a government official to properly fulfill her official duties or correct an abuse of discretion, according to law.cornell.edu. So an abuse of discretion is something people file to say you're abusing your discretion in this case of X, Y, or Z. Like, and so, well, they might try that. I don't think anybody's won for insanity in a very long time. I could be wrong, but I haven't recently heard of any cases where someone actually won for insanity. Wait a second. Wasn't there one that just happened? Now I'm thinking about it. But it's a hard defense nonetheless. I'm just thinking about it. I think I did actually see that somebody won for insanity not that long ago. Oh, if anybody knows the name of that case. But nonetheless, it's a very difficult defense, which is why most places don't, because they send the client gets sent somewhere, and that place will either say whether they're competent to stand trial or not. When I worked at Bridgewater, the jail there, that's what we did. we told the court whether these people were competent or not to stand trial. That was part of what Bridgewater did. It was the hospital part of the prison. That's why it's called Bridgewater State Hospital, even though it's a prison and they were inmates, criminally insane. But again, some of them actually fake it to go there because they get better privileges. I kid you not. It's called malingering. And there are a lot of malingerers because they think they're getting better, better stuff. Like, but it is what it is. Bang bangs is bad shit. Yeah. Well, it does require him to be insane at the time of the crime and currently insane, I think, too, as well. Like, if you're gonna plead insanity, he's gotta be basically insane, right? Like, but I don't know if he's gonna claim that or not. But many of the filings in Allen's case have been sealed and do not have the mandated court explanation of why the documents were excluded from public inspection. Now, that's a problem. There needs to be a reason why you're holding them from the public, why you're hiding them. There can't just be, oh, well, we're not releasing them. Okay, well, why? There needs to be a good reason why. It says, filing with the Indiana Supreme Court. The October 30th motion with the state's highest court also took exception to Gall's determination that Baldwin and Rossi acted with gross negligence. Like, we're saying the attorneys. So the judge is saying that the attorneys acted with gross negligence. Like, that's weird. Why? Why? Like, why? Like, why? For fuck's sake, why? That makes no logical sense whatsoever. Like, like, no. Absolutely not. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. What the hell, dude? What is happening here? Sorry, my computer's doing that thing where it likes to like have a little bit of a seize fest over here. I don't know what's happening. What are you doing? I'm not understanding, computer. Why are you seizing out and what is happening? Anyway, the point is that the attorneys are trying to get back on the case in the Delphi case. And the judge is going, no, we're not doing that. I can't see you guys right now because my computer is doing something. I don't know what the hell it's doing. I'm waiting for it to like stop doing the death bubble. But I know that you can see and hear me. So it's kind of sucks because it's like, what in the actual F and F? Like, why? Just like, why is the judge doing all sorts of crazy shit? Like, why? For what reason? For what reason? Like, there's no, like, she's making it so that he's going to be able to have like appeals and like, it's kind of obnoxious, really. Like, it's just kind of obnoxious. Like, no, you can't. Versus not guilty by reason of insanity. Yeah, exactly. I loved his lawyer's last move in representing him pro bono after basically firing them. Yeah, so that's the problem, right? With this case is it's like he needs the damn attorneys, obviously, but like they're basically arguing over like which attorneys he can have, which is crazy. That like I'm not really sure why. Like, just like Pepe judges. I mean, yeah. I don't know what the deal is with the judge. I really don't. Like, well, it is. It's so rare that they convince people that the person's actually insane. Like, that's okay, Nancy. You can totally do that. I was going to say, lots of other people do that. Lots of other people do that. It's totally cool. You can totally do that. Abso-freaking-tootly. Abso-tootly. All right, let's move on. Before it was so rudely interrupted. Stupid computer. All right. So it says, Gull announced October 19th that Baldwin and Rossi, the attorneys, resigned from the case. But Baldwin and Rossi, the attorneys, allege they were given a choice to resign or face the judge's open court shaming of the two. They describe this as being coerced off the case. Now, that is a problem. That's a very big problem. Like, a judge can't be basically like saying, like, I'm going to shame you if you don't take yourself off the case. It's not an option, dude. You can't do that. Like, you just can't. It's not a fucking thing. Don't know what to tell you. Like, utterly ridiculousness. So, let's see. They describe this as being, yeah, okay. So, before the October 31st hearing, Baldwin and Rossi filed to represent Allen as private counsel. Gull still cited gross negligence and dismissed them from the case. In the days between the two hearings, held October 19th and October 31st, Rossi filed a motion indicating he intended to remain on the case at Allen's request. He also filed a motion asking Gull to step down as a special judge, which I probably would have done too. Gull ignored those motions before the 31st hearing, noting that Rossi does not represent Allen. So basically saying, like, you can't represent them and then you can't file stuff against me. Like, this shit's insane right now. Like, insane. Like, I mean, that's what I would think the motive would be here. Like, we don't know, obviously, but when I'm reading that's what you would think the motive there would be. Like, the judge is, I don't know, doing some shit. I don't fucking even understand. Like, on the morning of the October 31st hearing, Allen's new public defenders filed for a continuance in Allen's trial, noting they can't be ready by January 8th. Well, of course they can't. If you want to put new attorneys on it right now, then no. And of course she granted that motion. But you grant that motion, but none of the other ones. Make that make sense, right? Like, make it make sense. And then we have this little tidbit here on it. Hold on. No, I can't be that. I mean, that right there, like the Delphi victims' families, like this, I can't even imagine being them right now in this shit show. The judge has done damage to this so that now it's going to go on longer and it's going to be a fucking shit show. And now we have opened up doors for all sorts of shit that could happen. Like, I don't understand why she's doing or did what she did in this case at all. I don't think it's great that you have the, Supreme Court that has to weigh in on it now, in Indiana. Fun fact, my sister lives in Indiana. Yeah, hello, judicial misconduct is right. Like, hello, how are ya? Hey, it's me, judge. Well, that's the thing. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? The guy, like, first of all, the trial needs to happen. That's number one, okay? Trial needs to happen. Number two, these families don't need to wait anymore. These girls were killed in 2017. Okay, 2017. That is a long time to not have a trial. A long, long time. Like, what is happening? Like, what is happening? Yeah, you're not going to find that here, at least not in Massachusetts. That's for sure. All right, let's go into this part here. Hold on. Why did it shut off when I wanted to share that part? God damn computer today. Go somewhere with yourself, dude. Here we go. All right. So it says Allen County's chief public defender says his office is prepared to take on Delphi killings case, right? Fort Wayne, Indiana. While the Delphi murder trial is attracting more media attention than has been seen in ages for an Indiana case, which is true. Like, they don't even have, like, where my sister lives, at least in Indiana. The buildings are, like, no more than, like, 1 or 2 stories, like, 3 families. Like, that's it. That's literally it where my sister lives. And she lives closer to Michigan. But, like, we're talking about Indiana here. Like, I mean, come on. Like, but it says Allen County Chief Public Defender William Billy Librato, one of two Allen County public defenders recently assigned to the case, doesn't believe the trial will impact the daily work of the department. Well, how couldn't it? It's kind of a big trial, and there's kind of a lot included, so I don't know how it could not, but sure. It's not a death penalty case, which is true, or a life without parole case. It's just a double homicide. Oh, it's just a double homicide, which we do routinely, unfortunately, here in Allen County. Okay, first of all, I take offense to the fact that he says it's just a double homicide. Like, no, bro. No. No. Yeah, except I actually do have sources, Jen. So that would be false. But cool. It's a corner for you. Yeah, well, that's the problem is that yeah, there is a lot of big blows for them. And, they want justice. They want justice for these girls. Like, there's no reason that they shouldn't have justice for these girls. None whatsoever. Like, there's absolutely no reason. None. They should have justice a long time ago. This is 2017 this happened, right? Like, yeah, he absolutely should have a fair trial, but this is, I mean, come on. Like, yeah, exactly. Tried stat. But now we have all this clusterfuck going on, which means it's just going to push it back further and further and further until they can squash this out. Like, this is the distraction, obviously, to the case itself, but why in the actual fuck? Why in the actual fuck do we have this judge kicking attorneys out and then saying, like, oh, well, I'm going to not take filings? And, like, maybe what needed to be done is, like, I don't know, maybe like the justice system should like have this thing where, like, I don't know, what do they do again? Oh, maybe have some oversight over your fucking judges. Maybe that. Just saying, maybe that might happen. Like, maybe if you do that, maybe there wouldn't be such a effing problem all the time when you have these judges that are just doing whatever the fuck they want. Like, come on, dude. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. But anyway, let me get this back here. Where's this thing doing this? All right. He said the only impact it will have is the travel time to another county. Okay, great. Fantastic. Well, I don't think that's the only impact, considering the victims' families have a very big impact. So I think that was kind of insensitive of him. But again, I guess he's not there to be sensitive, but still. Liberato said Thursday, just after the quarterly public defender board meeting. Oh, yay. Liberato said round trip to Carroll County, where the trial is currently being held, is 5 hours? Holy shit. We have 7 investigators and 2 assigned specifically to that case, so I don't think we'll need outside resources, but the state's Public Defenders Council, based out of Indianapolis, is always willing to help. Okie dokie. So this guy here on the right is the guy who's being quoted here. Cool. All right. Well, they say, Liberato has been a public defender for nearly 25 years, has had conversations with Bernice Corley, the executive director of Indiana Public Defender Council, who has offered assistance if we needed it. We just don't know at this point what's coming our way as far as discovery. We've gotten a little bit, but not all of it yet. Oh. Okay. Sure. Okay. All right, fine. It's definitely an interesting case. It's garnered a lot of media attention. Don't you think, Captain Obvious? Thank you for that, Captain Dickhead. We knew that. Like, it's a brutal homicide, but Mr. Scrimmin and I will do our jobs and we'll do it professionally like we always do and represent Mr. Allen to the best of our abilities. So you say it's a brutal homicide. Like, that probably wasn't I mean, yes, it was a homicide, but like, why make that statement as defense attorneys, though? Like, I don't think that was the smartest fucking thing to say. Like, yeah, like, they were mutilated. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, yeah, no, it was 2. That's the Kohlberger case you're thinking of. the 4 people. That was Idaho. Which is another shit show that's happening over there. The Kohlberger case. I mean, here's the problem with that case is, like, clearly the guy looks very, very guilty. But I think they need to bring some more evidence here. What they have is very circumstantial outside of the touch DNA. Like, they didn't find any, DNA in his car or in his apartment, although they said he cleaned his car. Like, but, there was a lot of back and forth about the fact that the Kohlberger case is a lot of circumstantial stuff, but those families deserve justice too. And, there's, do you know what they used in that case, by the way? Guess what they used, guys? Can anybody guess what they used in that case? Celebrate data and geofencing data. Like, geofencing data. Like, the problem is in that area, though, I think it's up to like 30 miles or something is like the thing for it. Like, it makes no sense. Like, none whatsoever. Like, if you're going to use the geofencing data, like if there's a 30-mile thing on it, like, I don't know if he had help. But something isn't right. Maybe he had help. Like, he could have. Yeah, they do. They have touch DNA and GPS. They do. They absolutely do. But the Kohlberger case is just like, there's something, like, there's no DNA of his anywhere. Like, he didn't come in a fucking hazmat suit, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's not a hair. There's not, besides the sheath. Don't come for me, besides the sheath. But I'm saying, like, they found no DNA in his car. They found no DNA in his apartment, on his clothes, at least. But again, he could have burned the one he was wearing. Who knows? But there's just a lot of circumstantial evidence and not a whole lot of, like, actual physical evidence. And that's 4 people. Like, that, he killed 4 people. Like, so how did you go in and kill 4 people and not have any DNA, any hair, anything? Like, again, he wasn't wearing a hazmat suit, dude. Like, your hair sheds. Like, it just does. Like, do you know how much hair I lose in a day when I brush it? Like, just move it. Like, a lot of hair. Like, a lot, always, all the time. Hair. It's everywhere. God damn it. It's hair. Like, they just do. It is bananas. Yeah, touch one single trace of touch DNA on the sheath. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure probably the other, but that's the thing. Who's the other person? Like, who? Who's the other person? Who's the other person's DNA? Like, we don't know, obviously. And a lot of stuff in some of these cases is like, they have the gag orders and the fucking, like, it's like, I need to know this shit, people. Stop gagging and stop fucking goddamn impounding shit so I can have it. God damn it. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Like, that's utterly ridiculousness. I need you to stop impounding shit so I can see it. Like, hey, you're entitled to your opinion. I think there's a lot of circumstantial evidence that says he does it. But again, I'd like to see some actual physical evidence. Like, in the Delphi case, like, Richard Allen absolutely, 100%, in my opinion, killed those girls. They're on the fence? That's interesting. Okay, all right. True, they were in bed. He did have a mask. They said that he was wearing a mask. Maybe. But the odds of that. To be fair, he studied criminology. So he's not a stupid person, right? It's not a stupid person. So there's just a lot of circumstance, not a lot more. That's kind of the problem I have with it. Like, CODIS, yeah. So it's not in CODIS. So someone's never been around, like, that DNA has never been submitted for something before. Like, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I am watching. I promise I am. I just look at a lot of stuff that I'm doing. So it's like one here, one there, one here, one there. And then I'm doing something on this one or reading something on this one. And then something over here happens and I get distracted and like got a lot going on. But I mean, I personally, my opinion, once again, is there's a lot of circumstantial evidence that he did it. But the fucking gag order stops a lot from flowing here. Like, exactly, right? Exactly. The questions and I need it. I need to know. I need to fucking know. I need to goddamn know. Like, well, there are people that have spoken out who say, I know the details. I just don't, I'm not going to remember them all right now because I haven't looked at it in a couple of days. So if there's anything new in the last couple of days, I have no fucking idea. No clue. Nothing in the last couple of days. But yes, they do know how to have people that knew him before college. But again, it's nothing great. It's just people saying he's creepy, but being creepy doesn't make you a murderer, like, right? Or just being socially awkward. Again, doesn't make you a murderer, right? Like you can be socially awkward or even a little creepy and not be a murderer. Like it is. There's a lot. There is a lot of cases. I'm trying my bestest. The Delphi one's one I've been following for a while. Koberger, obviously, too. Gabby Petito was one that I followed too. Like that one touched me too. Like that one, I think that touched a lot of people, but that one just had a really sad, like it was just very sad. Like that should have never happened. Like, but I mean, there's a lot of cases that are just like you're watching them. Like, did anybody watch the Take Care of Maya case? Did anybody watch that one? Because they were streaming that one on Court TV too, and that one was a really good. It's not a criminal case; it's a civil case, but still a good case nonetheless, and good principle to it. And I'm like rooting for Maya Kowalski and her family. Like, I mean, I think she speaks for everyone who's been through that, and like that's like not acceptable. Like not acceptable. The hospital was not acceptable on what they did. They deserve to be found guilty. That family deserves. You're not going to replace her mom, right? Like it's not going to happen. Like, but I mean, just give her the win. Like the Kowalski family deserves that win. They went through hell. They went through hell in a goddamn handbasket. Everything that happened to them was completely and utterly unacceptable. But it happens a lot when it comes to kids with even adults, but most of the kids, obviously, but when you have to deal with like the hospitals doing that kind of shit with kids with rare diseases. You guys remember the Justina Pelletier case? Similar, not the same, but similar, right? Like, yeah, the roommates, yeah. I mean, I don't dig them either, but who knows? Like, who freaking knows? Who freaking knows? So, back to the thing. Back to what it says. Back to what it says. Yeah, interesting case, he said. That's what I don't like what he said. It's a brutal, yes, it is a brutal homicide. We know that. Thank you. Richard Allen was charged in the double homicide a year ago in October. He is accused of stabbing to death 13-year-old Abby Williams and 14-year-old Libby Jerriman, who were found in February 2017 on a hiking trail in Carroll County near the abandoned railroad bridge. Now, it just depends on what motions are filed. I can say the prosecutor in Delphi has been very easy to work with. We just both look forward to handling a very clean professional case, Librato said. The public defender's office is at full capacity, but intends to hire 2 more public defenders with a couple of retirements. Interesting. Well, here's the thing, right? Like, first of all, they had plenty of time to arrest Richard Allen. They had plenty of evidence to do it, and they bungled the fuck out of that too. Like, in general, they bungled the fuck out of it. And that pisses me off to no end. Literally. Like, it irks me. And it should irk anyone, really, how much they had and how much incompetence came with the Delphi case. Like, I mean, A Reddit thread? Oh, there was that Reddit thing. Yeah, I don't know. There was that thing. He was looking for like a criminology. Koberger was looking for like a criminology, like a person to help him like study criminology. I don't know if it was like a test subject or some fucking stupid thing like that. Like, get quoted as saying he believed he could pull off the perfect murder according to at least one. I have no idea. I mean, but that's the thing. He studied criminology, so I mean, if you're gonna study criminology, like, you know, okay, sure. Don't you love when people are like trolling you on Facebook? Like, isn't that fun? You have anything better to do but troll me on Facebook? Cool. You do that. Yeah, there was a Reddit thread, but I think that was for a project. That was for a project. That was for like a thing he had to do for school for criminology. So it's like I think people read too much into that one specifically because there was a, you know, um, because it was for school. Like anybody would have had to do it, whether it was him or someone else. So yeah, it's PhD class. That's what it was. The Netflix came out with a prejudicial documentary prior to trial. I don't like that because it does. I like to see them when they're done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not before everything's done, but like done, right? Like, if you do one before it's done, right? Then everybody's got an opinion that it sways one way or another based on just what the person who's narrating or making the film kind of thinks, really. Why not give both sides of it, and why not wait until it's over? Like, why make it when it's, why? Like, doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't. Like, yeah, absolutely, it is a very interesting case. I mean, the problem I keep having with some of these cases is that, like, they're bungling shit in court, either the judges or, like, the cops took too long to get Richard Allen, in my opinion. Like, there was a lot of stuff. Like, I'm with Maya too. Me too. Abso-freaking-lutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. I mean, the the hold on. Let me see if I can. Yeah, the Papa Rogers thing, I think that was mostly just noise, honestly. I thought that was debunked a few times. I mean, who knows? Yeah, that hospital and the Maya Kowalski thing is fucking disgusting. 100%. No. 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 There can be many reasons why, especially with that, what Maya Kowalski has, a friend of mine's child actually has, and it's not easy to deal with. And they can go a long time with just nothing happening, nothing at all. And then all of a sudden something triggers it and it can come right back. And so that's like kind of the bitch of it is they don't really know why. They don't know why. They don't know why. They don't know how. That's what happens with rare diseases, though. You don't know how. You don't know why. It's shitty. Like, right? It was eerily accurate, but I don't think it has ceased, but I don't think it was him. I think they debunked that for whatever. I mean, I know that it was looked into. Um, yeah, but Murdoch was definitely friggin' guilty. 100%. Like, I mean, at least admitted to a lot of stuff too. I mean, I guess what else they used in that? Celebrate data. They used all sorts of stuff that and I remember them quoting it as extremely accurate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, so it's only extremely accurate in some cases, and then others it's just not. Oh, interesting. Oh man. I mean, hold on, let me get this one up here. Because with the Delphi case, what pisses me off is they had too much time. They bungled the fuck out of this. Like, why? Just why? Just fucking why? They could have had him a long time ago, dude. So this is what I have a problem with the judge for. Like, this judge, like, lady, you need a fucking Ambien or something. Like, Jesus Christ. Judge in Delphi murder case calls ousted defense team grossly negligent. Removes attorneys for Richard Allen again. Again, okay. A new defense team has been named in the Delphi murder case. The original defense attorneys assigned to Richard Allen, the man accused of the 2017 murders of Libby German and Abby Williams, are off the case. The girls were found stabbed to death in February 2017 near the Moon High Bridge in Delphi. Allen, 51, was arrested in October of 2022. 2022, people. 5 years later, he has maintained his innocence in the case. Of course he has. Fran Gull, the special judge from Allen County assigned to the case, said Tuesday in open court that Allen's ousted attorney's gross negligence led to a leak of sensitive documents. Lady, documents leak all the fucking time. It could have been one of their damn paralegals. Like, stop it. Investigators announced the arrest of Allen a year ago. After a hearing Tuesday morning, we know it will be another year before he faces a jury, which is fucking utterly ridiculous. Attorney Brad Rossi left the Carroll County Courthouse with nothing to say. He was right behind attorney David Hennessy, who was hired to keep Rossi and attorney Andrew Baldwin as Allen's defense team. In court Tuesday morning, Grill ripped into Rossi and Baldwin for their attempts to stay on the case, calling their actions on Allen's defense attorneys grossly negligent. 12 days ago, Gull made the surprise announcement in court that Allen's defense team had withdrawn following a leak of documents and crime scene photos. Like, okay. Both lawyers claim the judge carried out a premeditated ambush and coerced them to withdraw, which kind of sounds like kind of what she did. Like, to be fair, even if they were, like, I don't know if you would call them grossly negligent for something leaking. That could have been their paralegals, like, for all we know. Like, literally, you know? Like, it's shitty, but, you know, she did. She did. Yeah, celebrate. Exactly. I did not watch the Lifetime version of it. No, I did not. I'm sure other people saw it, though. I don't have cable. I don't do cable. We cut the cord a long time. We use streaming services instead of cable, which I don't mind at all. Just saying. But Allen wrote an impassioned letter to the judge pleading to allow attorneys Rossi and Baldwin to remain as his defense team. So he's saying he wants them still. Like, he's saying he still wants his defense team, right? But in court Tuesday, Gull told Allen that she could not and would not allow Rossi and Baldwin to stay on the case. The judge didn't offer a reason in court for her decision. Now, that's a problem. Hennessy argued that Rossi and Baldwin not given proper due process, and the judge's decision violated the Constitution. Baldwin left the courthouse with a message to the press. Journalism. It's time for you guys to start being journalists. Oh, shit. That was a shots fired, right? That was a shots fired. That was a, hey, guys, you're going to need to look into this, a.k.a. wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like, that was clearly what that defense attorney was trying to do, and clearly it was what the judge, like, hey, you guys are going to want to look into her. Like, I mean, I wonder if they're doing it, though. Like, again, this is mainstream media, so it may not happen, right? Like, it may not happen. Baldwin has been critical of lack of transparency in the case, and Allen this week asked the Indiana Supreme Court to intervene in a 22-page brief. Chief Justice Loretta H. Rush on Monday asked for any briefs on Allen's request be filed on or before November 9th. Allen was brought down the stairs of the Carroll County Courthouse, flanked by sheriff's deputies and Indiana Department of Correction guards. Allen's appearance was the first in public since June. His new defense team, the third assigned to this case, have agreed to an October 15th trial date. A number of hearings are expected to happen prior to the trial date. This trial cannot keep getting pushed back like this. This is not acceptable, dude. It's just fucking not. Like, it's really fucking not. Go away with yourself, dude. Do something else. Like, go stop watching me. Goodbye. Like, I love how people... I don't have sources. Right. Cool. Sure. Whatever you say. You can tell my sources I don't have sources. Good luck with that. I literally can't with some people. But these families, that means they have to continue to go through this. And that's not okay either. Right? That's not okay at all. Like, this is continuous for these families. Like, so now you want to have another October 15th and of next year court date? Like, come on, dude. Bill Pullman plays Murdoch. Oh, that would actually probably be a good Murdoch. I'm not going to lie. Like, yeah, see, Mary, you got to just cut it. Cut the cord, girl. Just do it. Cut it. Cut it right out. You don't need it. Do Sling or something. It's like $50 a month. You don't need to pay $200. That's insane. It's insane. See? That's what I'm talking about. Or YouTube. And you get the same thing you get with cable. Why are you paying so much? Cut the cord. I don't even know why anybody has cable anymore. You can still get like cable channels. I choose not to do that because I just use other streaming services, but you can. You can. So cute, but I'm a sucker for a cheese ball made for TV flick. I'm not gonna lie. I am too sometimes. Not gonna lie. But I don't have cable. So when they come out on like one of the streaming services like Netflix or Hulu or Paramount or something, that's when I catch it. Paramount Plus sometimes has some good ones, and so does like Discovery Plus has some good stuff. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. But the Delphi case bothers me for multiple reasons. They should have had Richard Allen a very long time ago. There's plenty of evidence that Richard Allen was the culprit there. And yet they did not bag him until 2022. 5 damn years later. What? What were you guys doing over there? Like rearranging the evidence room? Like what? I mean, playing tiddlywinks? Like Jack in the Box? Like what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, it's not some first 48 shit. Like, look, if it's $180 a month, what? That's a lot. That's a lot, though. Yeah, YouTube TV. A lot of people have YouTube TV. I used Sling, but when I did have like the cable version, I used Sling, not YouTube TV. But hey, whatever, tickles your fancy and floats your boat, man. Like, it is ridiculous. All you need is the internet, people. Oh, 180 a year. Okay, that makes sense. That definitely makes better sense. I'm like, wait a second, what? Not a month. That wouldn't make sense. Fuck that. I mean, yeah, you can use it for as many on your TVs, as many as you want. As many as you want, Bob. Many as you want. You could have Sling and use it on every TV in your house. I mean, you can't watch them, I don't think, simultaneously. I don't know. I know Netflix does like things that's like 3 screens, 5 screens, but I don't think that's an option with YouTube TV. As far as I know, as long as you're signed in to your thing, you can watch it from any or all. Like, I don't know. I've never tried those, so don't quote me. You might want to try to do it. Maybe someone else knows the answer to that. But I've never seen the thing where it says like screens, like Netflix, where you can have only a certain amount of them doing the same thing at the same time under different profiles. I don't know. Yeah, Pullman. Now I have to see this. You guys are making me want to see this now. And I don't have Lifetime, God damn it. Like, okay, so you can do, yeah. You can. That's what I thought. Because I've never seen anything that says it's different screens for that. So, you want to watch that? Oh, hey. Hey, Eric, hey. Don't forget, we are doing the 50-50 for Karen. I should check. Just make sure. Don't know. Also, if somebody has Karen's, I'd prefer to send it straight to her Venmo. I think it's Venmo, right? Venmo or Cash App. I usually do it through. Oh, Gabriel Fernandez. Yeah, that one was tough too. That case drove me nuts. Drove me nuts. Oh boy. That was a fucked up case. It absolutely was. All right, I'm just looking here. Just in, yeah. Roku. Yeah, a lot of people use that. Roku. I use Roku. Oh, Chewy. Oh. I also use Roku, so I'm just saying. I use that as well. I like my Roku. I have no issues with it whatsoever. None. None at all. I don't know how you guys do Chewy, though. I know it's like expensive. Let me just check email here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Dude, my connection for some reason is going wonky. No connection, no. Raider Nation. Yeah, I don't know. Let us help you, Paula. Don't do it anymore. Don't do it anymore. Okay. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anyone on a PayPal. And if you need PayPal and that's what you choose to do, let us know. My mods can put it in the chat for you guys. Because I know some people prefer to use PayPal. All right. Where was I on this fucking thing, dude? Oh, the Kohlberger thing. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Ooh, yeah. All right. So I saw this today. Thought this was interesting, darlings. This was interesting. Oh, what the? All right. Wait, we can see this, right? Hold on. I can only see one screen at a time here. So hold on. Let me get rid of this. This. Okay. All right. FBI to turn over DNA evidence in Brian Kohlberger case, right? This came out earlier today. There's your smiling Kohlberger there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It says FBI investigators have been ordered to turn over DNA evidence in the murder trial of Brian Kohlberger, the man accused of stabbing 4 University of Idaho students to death. Judge John Judge. Yeah, you read that right. Judge John Judge. Judge. Oh my God. Imagine having to Judge. You know, because people call the judges like, Judge Smith, Your Honor, Judge Smith, Your Honor, Judge, Your Honor, Judge, Jury, Executioner, Your Honor. Like, yes. Oh, good. You stopped. Good. What? Why? Why are you doing such a thing? Why, Bob? Why? Let us help you. Don't do such a thing. That's insanity. Like, absolute insanity. You absolutely don't need to pay that much to get it on all your screens. All you need to pay for is the internet. That's it. You need the internet to stream, but to any streaming services, you need the internet, but you don't need a home phone and you don't need cable. You can get it way cheaper. Way cheaper. Yeah, I hear you. All right. So back to the Kohlberger mess. You guys distracted me. Judge John Judge. No, that's what distracted me, is the judge's name. Judge of Idaho's 2nd Judicial District covered FBI DNA documents to be turned over by the court on the 1st of December. It's my kid's birthday. The Idaho Statesman reported the request could take up to a full month to fulfill. Okay. Sure. So the judge ordered FBI DNA documents to be turned over by the 1st of December. The judge previously ruled that some of the documents needed to be turned over to 28-year-old Mr. Kohlberger's legal defense team through discovery. Mr. Kohlberger's defense has been fighting to obtain the DNA records since May in order to inspect DNA profiles uploaded to databases, according to the outlet. In June, it was revealed that the FBI used DNA an investigative genetic genealogy to identify Mr. Kohlberger as a suspect in the killings. The results were a statistical match, prosecutors previously said. Okay, previously said. In August, his attorneys provided testimony from a genealogist criticizing the DNA evidence used to tie Mr. Kohlberger to the military knife sheath found at the student's off-campus home in November of 2022. During a hearing that month, the prosecution declared their opposition to the records being released to the defendant's legal team. Oh, yeah? Asserting that IGD data was not used to secure a warrant for Mr. Kohlberger's arrest. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you used a warrant, you used it to try to match him, right? Like, come on, dude. Oh, yeah, just inbox me, otherwise I'll forget. Inbox me. Definitely inbox me. I will forget if you don't. So just send me either an email at twistedtragedies3@gmail.com or send me a message on Facebook on the Twisted Tragedies page because I will freaking forget now. But if you send me a message, I'll get the information for you. You know, Bob is not rich. Bob's a nice guy. Leave my Bob alone. Yes, try it. You won't be disappointed. Okay. You may try it, Mary. She said try it. You won't be. I mean, just saying. All right, back to this. You guys check me, goddammit. All right. When discussing the records Thursday, Mr. Kohlberger's public defender, Ann Taylor, asked that an inventory of the documents be provided by the FBI. She also requested more clarity about the closed-door review process. The newspaper reported that the court intends to review the evidence before deciding what should be withheld from Mr. Kohlberger's legal team. Judge has said he'd like to review all the records at the same Lata County? Sure, that's what we're calling it. Lata County Prosecutor Bill Thompson said he'd comply with the court's decision. That's such a weird name for a county. Lata. Mr. Kohlberger has been accused of killing 20-year-old Ethan Chapman, Xana Kernoodle, 21-year-old Kaylee Goncalves, and Madison Mogan. Capital murder trial has been suspended indefinitely. Idaho murder scenes, this was also today, reopened by FBI as Brian Kohlberger case drags on. FBI investigators recently returned to the Idaho home where accused murderer Brian Kohlberger allegedly stabbed 4 college students to death. Blah, 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 blah. To obtain additional information, as his trial involving the deaths remained delayed indefinitely. In a statement, the University of Idaho said investigators and the prosecution recently asked the institution's permission for access to the residence. Okay. The owner of the residence donated the property to the university following the murders. Yes, they did. They've donated the property. They must have enough money to donate an entire damn property. That's for sure. Like, you're welcome, Bob. Always. Always. Great Scott ATVs. Hey, you could have one in each bathroom. If you have 2 bathrooms and you have one in each bathroom, that's already 2. And then if you have 3 bedrooms, that's 5. And then if you have 2 living rooms, that's 7. You know? Just saying. I mean, so he actually does. Like, Ann Taylor actually is, like, doing her job. Like, literally, she's doing, like, I was just, like, she is thorough for a public defender. That's for damn fucking sure. I mean, but it is a capital murder case, so I think she was one of the only people anyway in her office that could do capital murder. And that's why she was assigned to it, or that's why she took it, because at one point she was one of the witnesses, one of the victim's parents' attorneys. And then, but she had actually, I guess, never done, it was out of her office, but she had actually never showed up for a court date, even though she was assigned to her as an attorney. So I guess she asked if it was okay. And one of the victim's parents said yes. But then later on, the parent said she felt like she was, like, you know, basically forced into saying that she could. So it is what it is. I mean, it's not that many that could do capital murder in that area. You got to go with one that does. But I will say, Ann Taylor's done her job. Like, she's not playing any fucking games with the stuff. She's like, nope. You know what? I want to know what happened behind those closed doors. I want to know how they decided that the DNA profile was familial, basically. Like, I want to know. God damn it. Oh, don't make me math. Don't make me math or adult right now. Yeah, it is. That's a very true statement. But I mean, with this case, the Koberger case, like with this crapola here, I still have lots of questions on this. And the gag order kind of puts a the courtroom thing. Idaho Judge John Judge addresses fight over cameras in the courtroom. At a hearing for Idaho student murder suspect, Lake County District Court Judge John Judge urged the media and other courtroom spectators to have some dignity and some restraint, while stating he was not going to ban cameras. Here's the problem, right? If you guys remember, they bitched and whined about, don't look at him, right? Don't point the camera at his face too much. Don't do this. I've never heard of so many ridiculous things that they're being told not to do with a camera. Then don't allow them in there. It's one or the other. The whole point of having a camera in there is to watch his face. That's kind of like part of the point, right? Like, and then to watch the judge and the witnesses and the attorneys. Like, what do you want them to have restraint about? Not putting them on the camera? Like, they weren't doing anything crazy, not that I've heard of. So why do they need to have some sort of restraint? Like, that never made sense to me. But again, we have gag orders, and now, you're going to allow cameras, but I'm going to give everybody an impassioned speech about, I'm going to write everyone an angry email. That's what it sounds like to me when, like, I'm reading that. It's like, they sent an angry email again. Damn it, Susan. Back to you, Bob. Like, what's angry goddamn email? What the fuck, dude? Like, what in the goddamn hell? But I mean, I don't know why they need to have restraint. Like, he allows them in the courtroom. What's this little clip here? Are they even going to show a clip of anything other than just moving around? With no sound. Yes, no sound. Oh, well, that's... Jesus Christ.
I advised camera people not to turn on the cameras until I was on the record, and they turn off when the record is off.
What?
I just want to remind you, you just heard Matt talk to you about not having your phones, your laptops to film anything, to record anything. That would be a violation of the rules. And we will take away your laptop or your phone. Some of these rules have been violated in some of our hearings, and I have an obligation to put a stop to that. And I'm sure you're probably interested in this. I haven't put a decision out yet, but what I'm going to do is take control of the cameras in the courtroom. I'm not going to ban cameras in the courtroom.
Basically did.
I need to have more control over
Control freak
are doing and what media or people who are not media are doing with the filming.
Yeah, what?
I know I can only control so much.
Yeah, you think?
And that's why I continue to urge people to be patient and have some dignity and some restraint.
Sounds like he's a control freak to me.
And some of that I've heard or seen has been disappointing.
You're a little
We're also meeting with survivors and
No,
families of the victims.
don't do it.
Will never.
No, we don't listen to you, dude. I want to listen to that. I haven't put a decision out yet, but what I'm going to do is take control of the cameras in the courtroom. That's what he said. I'm going to take control of the cameras in the courtroom. I'm not going to ban cameras in the courtroom. Okay, but you basically ban cameras by saying, like, I need to control every movement the camera does. Like, people need to hear what's happening. And, like, there's too many rules. He wants too much shit. He wants, oh, you know, don't look at his face too much. Oh, don't turn it this way too much. Like, bro, then why even allow them in there at all? For what reason? Why even allow cameras in the courtroom at all? Like, there's no reason for it then. Like, there's absolutely no reason for it. If you're gonna control, what the cameras are doing and where they're moving, like he said, like, and who's doing the cameraing. He wants the camera guy, the camera people. What? Like, what guy? We do need good audio and visual with this trial. 100% we do. Except for the fact that it's been suspended indefinitely. Like, can we get a trial date on that? Your Honor, Judge, sir. Like, that's why your last name's Judge. I get it now. Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes perfect freaking sense. All right. Here's the deal. I'm done with this. Get this. Hold on. Get this down here. Down. All right. Yeah, I mean, Lori, that was a case I followed, and that was really, really sad. Those kids did not deserve that. That was some cult shit. That was some, I believe I'm like an extraterrestrial being that like can tell light and dark spirits, and if you're a dark spirit, you're a zombie. And basically, they deemed anybody a zombie who like didn't buy into their bullshit or didn't listen to them 100%. Like, now you're a zombie. Like, that happened. Like, those people are sick human beings. Chad Daybell is a sick human being. Laurie, I think, was already very sick, mentally, health-wise. And he kind of took advantage of that because I think he had his own mental health issues. Bottom line. They're both freaking wackadoos. Like, you went and got married. Like, what? Your wife just died, bro. Like, your brother just shot your ex-husband. I mean, what? And that ain't about a bitch. See, this is what pisses me off about that case, though. If Alex was alive, like, would they have gotten to him to flip? And they definitely would have charged him because they have the information of him being in the backyard of the Daybell's residence twice, 2 separate times, and when the kids disappeared about. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out. That's how they figured out, where the bodies were. But, it was, Katie, it was. I don't know. They had different clips on there. Not sure, like, who and why and what and where. But they had different clips, and that just magically started playing. And I'm like, oh, for the love of God, if you play Lallying like that, I'll fall asleep. Cereal, though. I'm for cereal. I am for cereal. I'm for cereal, like these serial killers. All right. Give me your last questions, comments on these cases, or really anything else at this point. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. I still got to 50-50 this and send it to Karen before I go to bed. If anybody else wants to contribute to that, you can still do that. I'll leave it like an open thing until, we say, like 24 hours till like 9 tomorrow night. I don't have a show tomorrow night. I have my Saturday off, tournament to go to, so you won't see me tomorrow night. So I guess we'll leave it open till 9 tomorrow night. So if you're catching it on the replay, you can still do the 50-50. I'll send what we got tonight, and then if there's more, then we'll do a second one tomorrow. But Yeah, they are both wild. 100%. 100%. They are wild cases, and there's a lot going on in all of them. Like, there's just a lot there in general. Like, but these victims' families need justice, dude. And these being pushed back, one indefinitely right now, and one for an entire year, like, that's not justice, dude. That is not. Like, yeah, wackadoodles. Wackadoodoo. Like, yeah, that's another thing. They went honeymooning. Like, you people have issues, bro. Like they just went about their like day, like they didn't have like Lori never had children. Like, I'm so tired now. I'm so tired. So tired. But to be fair, I went to sleep at like it was like 4:30 in the morning last night and get off here until like 1:30, right? Like I went to sleep like 4:30 or 4 or 4:30, and then I was up at 6:30, 7:30, and I've been awake ever since. So I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Oh, well, that is gonna be good. I can't wait for that dirtbag to have his fucking day in court, Chad Daybell. Literally. Like literally. I cannot wait for that because he needs to go exactly where Lori is and get, a life sentence as well. Like he knew exactly what was happening. It was on your goddamn property, bro. Like, stop it. Like, I actually don't I was invited to the newer one. I have no idea. I was only told that it was being paused, I think. That's I have no clue. I wish I did because I was kind of like, okay, sure. But no, I have no idea what is going on with the Canton Confidential page. I was invited to join a different page by someone. So I'm not really sure what the hell's going on over there. Yeah. I don't know why it's until the special time. There's got to be a reason. Like, there's got to be probably someone I'm getting. Like, I obviously have no idea what it is, but if it was only until a special meeting, then maybe it's like, maybe someone's creeping the page. Like, I don't know, maybe someone's using a profile or something until they're making another one. Beats the fuck out of me. I have no clue. No damn clue. I have no answers to that. I wish I did for you, but I don't. I just got I just got an invite for a different page, and I was just told that it's being paused until the special meeting. Yeah, no worries. No worries. No worries. No worries. No worries. Is what it is. Oh, if I find out, I guess I'll let you know. I have no clue. No clue. Anything else? You guys good? Well, those were shitty letters though. Like those were unacceptable. Like those were threatening tone, and it said us. Like it's not like one person wrote it. It was like we think, we know, like it was a thing as if it was written by multiple people or at least more than one person. Like, and the stuff they said in the letter was just kind of like, first of all, creepy as all hell. And secondly, why would you be that bold? For what reason? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Leave these people the fuck alone, dude. They're trying to stand up for their town. They're trying to stand up for their families. Like, you want to harass them with letters? With anonymous letters that says we. And again, could be written by just one person. Could be. Thank you, Colleen. I appreciate that. Yeah, monitored. Yeah, take it under advisement. They'll take that under advisement. I mean, you are kind of monitored on social media. That's the risk everyone takes being on social media is, everybody sees everything, which is whatever. It is what it is. But I think that, it's under advisement. That's the best we can do. It's under advisement. It's goddamn under advisement. Jesus Christ almighty. But I mean, hey, what do I know? Just saying. All right. Anything else? You guys got anything else? Because I won't see you till Sunday. So get it out of your systems now, ladies and gents. And I will leave the 50-50 open for Karen until tomorrow night. So it'll be Saturday night at 9:30. I started at 9:30. To be fair, it'll close 9:30 Saturday night. Tonight's Friday night. Well, now it's 12:21 a.m. So technically it is Saturday, but you know what I mean. Till 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. Saturday, we will close the 50-50 for Karen. So 50%, to be clear, 50% of the donos would go to me and 50% would go to Karen. I thought that we needed to, like, regroup here and refocus on what we came here for. And I thought that was a good way to do it. So I was talking with some friends on the phone earlier, and I'm like, this is a good way to refocus. So this is definitely the way to do it. We will leave it until 9:30 Saturday, and then whatever else comes in on a replay. If you're my replay crew, because we got a solid replay crew here. If you're my replay crew, you can still get in on this until 9:30 p.m. Saturday. And I'm going to set an alarm on my freaking phone, because otherwise, it's not that I'll forget, but I'll just know, like, to write a post out that it's closed. So I'll put one on the Twisted Strategies Facebook page and here on YouTube that it's closed out. And we'll put the screenshots up there when it closes out. I do not have a stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. I get Saturdays off. Saturdays are family day. Family day is Saturdays. So my family gets me all to themselves. Well, mostly to themselves. I still check messages and answer people. I just don't like work, like hard work. Like, I'll answer people, maybe take a few phone calls and stuff like that. But I won't be like delving into documents or anything like that tomorrow. So it won't be here tomorrow. I'll see you guys on Sunday, though. We'll have a good old family Sunday dinner. We're gonna call it, like, our Sunday dinner, right? Like, we just all congregate here on Sunday and have like a good old Sunday dinner. Like, why not, right? We're kind of like a family at this point. This is a twisted family here. Like, but no, I won't be here tomorrow. Just Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. And we got a guest on Monday. Talk about one of the cases, which is going to be fun. So on Monday's stream, we'll be talking about a few different cases, but we're going to do one with a guest first. So that'll be funsies. All right, that's it. All right. I love you guys. I'm going to go attempt. I say this every time, and I end up going to sleep like 2 or 3 hours later. I'm going to attempt to get some sleep now because I am exhausted. But I love you guys. And also, I just want to say, like, to everybody who sent me, I got some really nice messages today. I got some really solid, like, texts, emails. Like, I was overwhelmed with the love from you guys, and I just wanted to address that and say thank you. I always feel loved with you guys. I appreciate it. And I appreciate every person that reached out. That really meant a lot to me personally, and I wanted you to know that. So I appreciate it. I love you guys, and I will see you guys Sunday. Bye.